if you don't do streams like, I suppose, exposing people's past because like people need to learn about the bad things that they did 7 years ago, it's the same thing. My opinion of you will probably change as well. But just based off of those couple events, I even the way that the stream went, because the way that the stream went seemed like super memey and kind of weird, considering that she came in kind of like begging for you to turn it off. Because again, at some point you had like your shirt off, and then fucking Xena couldn't help herself and fucking come in, and there were like weird questions that were flying around. I won't get into like they were just weird, but
yeah,
I don't know if that
super weird with Xena, because I totally thought Xena could help convince me to turn it off, because it's not like I want Emiya to feel bad about it. It's just that I don't see any logical reason to do it, and I'm too like jaded to care that she's like a weeping girl. Although I don't like it how chat like always brings up like, oh, she's ulting. Like if someone actually like ults and starts crying, I'm gonna take that as like a pretty legitimate reason people are allowed to have feelings.
Well, I don't feel like she needs to be like a weeping girl for you to have like that level of empathy. Like, for example, that empathy is something that you should like. I'm pretty sure that you would want the benefit of the doubt. I have no idea what you've done in your past, but if you were to put yourself in her shoes, I'm pretty sure that you would probably want the same level of empathy of, again, it's easy to defend yourself, come in and chat and say like, oh, I was young, but she's done plenty of that. She's gone on stream talking to Hassan Piker, explaining that, and like it's something that she needs to do like again and again and again. You say yes, that is something because people should know. I feel like it's fucked up. I wouldn't hold you to that standard, but that's like a personal thing. Like, like for never for the rest of your life, if I see in DGG chat, will I say, "Oh, it's fucking Crispy Lettuce. It's that guy that did like the expose or something like that." I'll probably keep having an opinion renewed if it's something that like keeps happening. But I just don't think people should be like, it's. I don't feel like it's your responsibility to warn people about this. I understand the want to, and I feel like you should have the freedom to. But with that freedom comes my ability to think, holy fuck, that's completely unnecessary and fucking scummy.
Right. Well, like, I super appreciate you letting me come on. So,
yeah,
something that I might want to do, which is probably something similar to what Emiya could do, would be to, like, save this VOD. And
sure.
if anyone ever wants to hit me up about it, I'll be like, well, I already talked about it. You can go look at the VOD.
Sure. You know what? That's actually fair. Yeah, if it's something that people bring up.
Yeah, so in a lot of ways, like me showing Emiya's bullshit and then not making a hit piece, not roasting her, letting her come on and explain it, and then maybe like setting a good example for her of like how to deal with this sort of shit, it could be like a really good thing for her, right? So you probably shouldn't think of me as a piece of shit. You should probably think of me as a sensei Giga Chad. You know.
I
just say
know.
that because I'm purely here just because I don't want people to think I'm like a schizo Giga Chad because I'm sick of it. I'm a schizo retard.
And you know,
like
sure, and you know what? It's
I guess I should say.
I'll do my due diligence, and I'll say that like I said before, and I'll repeat it, my reason for disliking it has nothing to do with curtailing rules. I feel like anybody other than our TBA that's whining and crying and pissing all over the floor because somebody's like doing whatever, streaming movies or whatever the fuck it is, it's not their job to be a fucking little, like a little, I don't know what you call it, like a little dweeb about it. You can message people can message our TBA if they want. It's none of their business, none of my business, but at least my reason for disliking is like a personal difference in morals, personally, is what I'll say. Okay?
So it's really good that like you have those personal reasons for disliking me, and it's even like great that you go out and explicitly say that you think that whole rule stuff is arbitrary and retarded and loosely enforced and whatever. But it all just like feeds into some snowball where it's like more and more okay, reasonable, and culturally relevant to DGG to hate on me. And so like that exactly that is why when Emiya comes in and was like, I'm getting hated on, I'm like, yep, that is actually what happens. It sucks. I can relate. I'm gonna be empathetic to you. I'm gonna like that you have your emotions, that you process them, but
True.
It's also gonna like not exactly help me like change what I'm doing, because like what I am doing is holding up to like a whole different set of values. Like I said, we're like, I don't know who you are, I want to know, I want to look this stuff up, Yeah.
Sure, that's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's just really unfortunate, like the climate of like the world. People are just so desperate to like glizzy gobble and be haters, and there's like a whole part of DGG which you make a lot of friends just by being a hater, and like yeah.
I do agree with that a little bit, although I feel like that's a whole separate issue or can of worms. But yeah, no, I just don't know if we're gonna make much headway.
It's kind of another can of worms, but it also like has probably influenced your like comfortableness between like hating on me, right?
Like, I don't listen to GGG when it comes to their like. I don't really take DGG's opinion when it comes to who. I feel like it's very easy for them to just be. I don't know.
Right. Well, I might say something right now which is going to make people like always like pull this up and like laugh at me. But like
sure.
The comfortableness that like RTB has with hating on me, which then like spans out into other chatters, like I don't know. There's at least like 5 chatters who are like extremely belligerent, have no explanation for what they're doing or like why they're being that way. Those sort of things literally just like shut down everything I'm doing, which is fine. Like I guess I guess I'm gonna put in like the work to like keep streaming and do what I'm doing anyway. But it just sets me down like a different timeline where instead of being like Justical, where I have like callers on my show and I get $500 donations, I'm just like streaming to the like no one or like two. I'm just streaming to Tape Deck for 1,000 hours for the next year.
You know what maybe, I mean? But like again, I don't feel like people have a hate campaign on me, and that's not very different from like my stream either. I feel like there might be a conflict. I don't know. I'm not in your shoes. I don't live your life. But there might be a conflation between the people that like the persistent chatters that do hate you and try to curtail you with just the fact that a lot of people are also just going to hate you if you put your embed on DGG chat. And like I said, they do like almost like free Jenny work. Free Jenny work for somebody who doesn't really need help doing their job because they already do their fucking job. It seems like they do their job at least very diligently. So I don't know if well, to be fair, I don't want to argue with you the effects of people hating you. I'm just mentioning it might be an instance where you do have people who unnecessarily hate you. I definitely don't want to contribute to people unnecessarily hating you.
All of this to like the whole Emiya situation. I didn't like do that to her. I had her on. I don't tell people like I don't I don't like tell her to like get banned and like all of her chats and everything. So even if I'm still an arsehole for like looking it up, I'm way more courteous and like helpful for her in so many ways, right? Does that help soften your view on me in any way? Not that I'm actually like doing anything great, but I'm definitely you know, not going to like the extreme level that the narrative can easily get to.
Yeah, you're definitely not. I don't know if that necessarily takes away from the fact that you did something that I feel like is not wrong. What's the word that I'm looking for?
Even if what I did was still wrong, would it make you feel less inclined to just like go tell everyone that I did something that you thought was wrong? Considering you know the consequences of this would be totally fucked up.
No. I wouldn't. Exactly. I wouldn't tell everyone.
In the same way, I would not bother like hiding what Emiya did. You know.
Wait, no, I'm confused. Like for example, I feel like maybe hold on. I'm confused about the connection here because I feel like, for example, I'm not like I didn't start this thing. I didn't unpromptly was like, hey, today let's take a look at what or even if a chatter brought it up, like Crispy Lettuce. If somebody was like, dude, did you see Crispy Lettuce went ahead and he did X or Y or he got banned for X and Y? Like, I'm not talking about like any of that. I'm bringing up like a personal issue that I saw with you. For example, I feel like it would be a different situation if you saw Emiya doing blackface like today. And what happened isn't like what you did with Emiya that upsets me isn't something that happened like a long fucking time ago. It's happened like a little bit ago. If you were to tell me like you saw Emiya doing blackface like 2 weeks ago with a Nutella mask and you wanted to talk about it on stream, I'd completely understand that. And I wouldn't have any issues with that. It's like what I said is like if she demonstrated a repeated pattern of behavior that make people feel really upset because she's doing something fucked, that's completely fine. But for example, if I knew something, if a chatter came up or like, hey, did you see what Crispy Lettuce did like 8 years ago? And then they link me something that you did, I can tell you personally, I would feel like it would be fucked for me to read like a Reddit post in detail with videos about something that was fucked that you did, God knows how many years ago. And to like, even if I let you in to defend yourself, for me personally, the line is having a chatter link me to stuff, read it like, oh, Crispy Lettuce this many years ago, and say, fuck, this is not for me to look on stream. This sounds like a personal stuff, and I close it. That's what I think is it. Let's say right. I want to be careful using terms of like right and wrong, but for me personally, that's I feel like the correct behavior when it comes to looking at past sins, because otherwise it just feels like I don't know.
Yeah, you're mainly like bringing up the difference between shitting on me in a climate where I'm already getting shit on all the time compared to cultivating a climate of me getting shit on.
Yes. Yeah, I don't feel like people should cultivate the climate of you being shit on. Like I said, if you, like, for example, my opinion of you is not going to change, like I said before, if you keep doing, like, oh, let's look at people's past. But I promise you, like, in a month or two, maybe even less than that, in a month or two, like, if you're just doing your thing, like, it's not like every time I see you in chat, I'm going to bring up, like, oh my God, Crispy Lettuce is that guy that, like, digs through like people's past and shit like that on stream. Like, I don't feel like you deserve to be marked by that event. Like, I don't think that's something that should happen, and you shouldn't have to answer for the rest of your life.
It's even
but
really,
that's again,
I guess you're like a pretty good example, because I don't think Justical will like have me on his stream again, because he kicked me out as soon as the beer showed up, and he already sort of had like a maybe I'm paranoid, but I feel like Justical already just was like, oh, this guy's like actually schizo, which is sort of fair. I'm not gonna like blame him for it. It's like whenever I show up, I just get like pulled into like arguments with Kelly or something, which is frustrating. Like, no matter how chill I try to be, I'm trying to rationalize that she just does that to everyone though. That's just her thing. So
yeah, I don't know
as soon as possible.
Oh yeah, I don't know anything about why Justical has like issues with you or the deal with that. I have no idea. I can tell you that my impression of you, unrelated to
he just reads all my DGG schizo chats, and
sure,
which I don't think any of it's schizo. I think all of my chats are like relevant. It's just people probably find I'm like Ayla. People just find what I say to be awkward, so they just hate on me.
Yeah, there's definitely a huge aspect of that for sure. I would agree with
awkward, you know.
My impression of you is also similar to that. I see like weird stuff that you write. Maybe schizo is the wrong word, but I would definitely say that you aren't like the average chatter. I don't know why, and I'm not saying this to like dig at you. I'm just saying like I guess there is like a genuine perception of you. And to me, that perception is divorced of the fact of you streaming movies or whatever the fuck it is. That's completely divorced of that. It's just based off of what you type. And again, sometimes I see some of your stuff, and I'm not saying this to be judgmental of you, but like even listening to you on was it Merrick's dating show? You're definitely not the average chatter.
Was it when I made her cry, or was it when I came in?
I didn't even see you making her cry. I didn't even see that.
I came in later and like I like shaved and let my hair down and dressed up, and I was thinking about doing a real date with her, but I like apologized for being grumpy or weird or whatever.
Yeah, to me that's just odd behavior, which is one thing.
Which part?
I've definitely
which part specifically?
I would be, for me to
roast
talk
me.
about what I
roast
thought you did. That was no, I know. I
want to be roasted
because for me,
I can't see myself, right?
I don't want to roast you live.
I wish you could be more convincing, and I wish
maybe, but that, you know what? I'm
exercising.
I'm exercising
and I'm right here to defend it, so this is like the perfect chance.
No, because it's who you are as a person. If you did something that was fucked up, right? Like I think you were putting your best.
I'm kind of a shitty person. I've just had like a fucked up, shitty life, which has just turned me into a shitty person. I'm not going to say that I have like the willpower to not act shitty, because I'm just like purely emotionally like lashing out at the world. No, that happens to everyone. Happens to me.
This is a decision that I am making I am not going to be roasting you either live or in chat or shit like that. If you know what, I'll tell you this: if you piss me off enough, then sure, I'll do it out of spite and like petty feelings. But I'm not going to sit here like I don't know. Like I think you did some shit that I personally dislike and I think was fucked up. Hey, I'm
to what's her name, to Malik? Yeah.
The like I still am exactly where I thought with the Emiya stuff. The most that you've been able to push me is the idea that like maybe I wouldn't call you a scumbag, and I would say that you did something scummy. That's where you've pushed me. Where we are currently with the Malik stuff.
Can you rep on why the Malik stuff was weird or bad, or even if you don't want to give examples?
It feels fucked up. I don't want to. It was weird. Listen, I personally. Well, Malik is also weird.
Now you're just calling me weird Malik, with like no justification.
Yeah, which
it's just exactly that same sort of climate.
Which I don't want to. I don't want to do. When I say weird, I don't mean like
You've done it. Seems even worse than me starting a flame based off what Emiya has actually done, rather than just having some vague implication that we should shit on Crispalitos for who knows why.
No, hold on a second. The same. It's coming from a judgmental place.
I don't even know why. You know, like
it's coming from a judgmental place. The same way that if I see two people that are like flirting and having a date completely like weird and divorce of how I've known people to have successful dates, then I would think like, oh, that is weird. That's what I'm mentioning. Weird. I don't think you're like. I'm not saying that you're like a fucking creep. Okay, you and Malik are both people that I see the two of you on a quote unquote. Hold on, it's time to put my bird to bed. Let me go take care of that very quick.
Okay. I should do some disclaimers. When I made Malik cry, it wasn't because I was being mean to her. It was because I was like relating to her about her brain damage and mental disabilities, and I said to her, I was like, "You got to find the things that you love because like you don't get many of those in life, so you got to hold on to them." And then we ended the stream like a minute or two later, and from me saying that onwards, her emotions sort of built, and then she had to spend like an hour of her stream just like emotionally recovering. It was super sweet.
Okay.
And I honestly got to try not to be like attached to her because of some vague thing. Anyway, go on.
So if the impression that I was giving when I was saying that like it was weird to watch you do like the stream with Malik, it wasn't because of any like malice or any like creepy behavior in the sense that you're like a dangerous or weird person. I don't know if that was the impression that I gave. What I'm trying to say is that if I see two people who are going on a date and are saying the shit that you and Malik are saying, clearly you guys were having a kind of vibe. You didn't get kicked off, so clearly she enjoyed it to some degree, be it because of like content or because she genuinely wanted to go on like a date with you. I have no idea because I didn't watch the full thing. But to me, watching you today, it was very awkward and weird. She's like half dancing, shuffling, and you're talking like about your brain damage, and even though you're asking her questions, you're just talking a lot. And she's just like, yeah. It was just weird. Okay, it felt like a fucking Adult Swim show. All right, that's not necessarily because of any malice. It was just strange. Okay, two strange people doing their strange date, and I'm glad that the two of you were happy about it. That's the most important thing. Okay.
Yeah, it was actually. It's super weird for me. Probably I see it in the way that you see it, but in another way where like when I'm talking to her, it sounds like a good back and forth. And then when I go back and rewatch it, I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, maybe it was a completely okay back and forth. So public disclaimer.
It's not really like when I go back and rewatch it, I'm like, man, I actually am like socially fucking crippled. And I think everything's like fine at the time, but then
yeah. So again, I'll just say it one more time. I'll repeat it.
Makes me feel like a solipsist, except even I'm not real.
Okay. Yeah. If anyone's listening, when I say that it was weird, it's not because of any perceptions that people on DGG might say about who you are as a person and that you're X or Y or that you're creepy, like that you would. It's just because the two of you, not just you, but also her, two of you are very abnormal on that date, but clearly the two of you are happy, so there you go. That's the disclaimer.
I think a lot's what going on the day is that she wants me to like grease her up and butter her up and make myself seem like this Giga Chad, whereas I'm like, well, if you want me to talk about myself, the things on my mind are like I'm very aware that I'm fucking retarded, so I guess I'm just going to talk about that. But I don't know, I thought about it more and I was like, I could put on like a whole shtick where I'm like, oh baby, if you were my girlfriend, I'd take you to the park and you'd eat ice cream and I'd eat ice cream and would watch people walk by and fall in love, which is exactly what she wants on her channel, right? And on some level, I guess I owe her something, so like I probably should have given her what she wanted.
I genuinely don't know.
Okay, but on the other point is that like I've held you accountable to the fact that like when you just like come out and say like these things are weird or whatever, and then like you don't base it on anything I do. You need to understand that like the word weird is going to be tied to the word schizo, which is going to be tied to the word BPD, which is going to be tied to the concept that that person is like a piece of shit and always bad, and mental illness just means that you're a piece of shit. Because like that's exactly what DGG is going to go into, and if you've like assimilated that into your consciousness, where like, or even I guess maybe you haven't because you didn't think that. But you've assimilated it enough to like use the word.
What, schizo? I mean,
well, weird.
I just say schizo.
I guess weird is like a more common parlance, and then schizo.
Yeah, but I feel like hold on.
Parlance. I don't know.
I feel like I'm out of the loop in this one, and maybe you are more correct. Maybe you are more correct in this because I'm out of the loop. To me, weird is literally just weird, and to me, it's news. And I'll take you at good faith. I'll because you're clearly more involved in the community than I am. I'll take you at good faith that weird implies mental illness, that implies BPD, that implies all of this. I'm just using the word that most aptly corresponds, in my opinion, to like Malik, whatever her name is, like shaking back and forth, and you talking about this. It is weird, and I feel like most people would say weird, but I understand what you're saying. In a community, weird might be associated with BPD, with all this stuff. I haven't internalized anything to do with you saying weird. I'm just literally describing the sequence of events that were almost Adult Swim-esque that I was watching on that fucking stream.
Is that kind of good though?
But
it was somewhat entertaining though.
Wait, what? I mean, it was entertaining in the sense that it's just fucking insane. Sure, it was like Eric Andre skit.
Am I Master Shake and she's Meatwad, or?
No, I think it was like the Eric Andre show, except both of you were like the guests, and there was no Eric Andre. It was very awkward. Okay. Yeah. Awkward, the word that I'm looking. It was a very awkward stream. There you go. That might be more apt, and I'm assuming that awkward has no connection to the other negative events that or words that you're worried about people internalizing. Sure.
Okay. Yeah, it's all good. To be fair, I haven't like socialized with anyone in like 6 years, so it's
yeah, and
it is what it is.
That could probably play a part into it for sure.
Yeah, but I find it real interesting watching you talk to all the other people and the way you guys like talk over each other, but you just like don't take it as like an any kind of like emotional slight, and everyone's like listening and engaging and not getting carried away in their thoughts. It's great. It's great watching normal people just go at it. I understand what you're saying. In our conversation, like the speed that I want to talk at and explain concepts, which sometimes it's not even until after I've explained them where I see all my own little potholes where I'm like,
Gotcha.
It's interesting. I don't know. I'm just sorry. I'm just waffling about. It's nice to talk, but whatever.
That's okay. Sure.
And it'll get better,
like I said before,
these weird things will get better.
Yeah, probably. I wouldn't be surprised if they do get better with like more experience talking to people like this. But I will say maybe if people do, and people, I don't know if people will be honest with it, but if people are referring to you as like schizo in the sense that you are bad or creepy or whatever other thing, I never understood that. I understood more like socially awkward. Because to me, schizo has become an umbrella term to define a lot of things about, I don't know, what chatters that feel a certain way about somebody else, right? Like,
normally I would think that schizo just means that like you have delusions and ideas that you tie together based on those delusions. But when people like ask me schizo, call me schizo and DGG, and I'm like, okay, well, like, what is the incoherent part? They just don't have it. They're like, oh, the incoherent part is that like you have a feeling, and it was like, okay, like. So I guess.
Okay, no, hold on a second. I feel like, hold on. I think people are also referring to you trying to do humorous things that comes off as really fucking weird. Like when you took your shirt off on the Emiya Xena stream thing. I think that's part of what, because nobody else would do that. Well, okay, maybe I shouldn't say nobody else would do that. Most people wouldn't have done that. And I feel like most people are going to take away that as socially weird, aka schizo, but that's me being good faith to the people who are calling you schizo. It could be that they genuinely are trying to make fun of you because you have some mental illness that you were talking about. That could be the case.
I think that specific event has only got like laughs. At least I've only heard back from you and Justical about it that I can think of. I get it though that like people would just be like, to me it just comes across as they're like, I would never do that, like, oh, and he did that, like, that's what a weirdo, like, oh man, that guy's bad.
It's insane. It's fucking schizo, and at least that's the way that I would use it,
because it's exceeding your expectations. And to defend myself, like, it just came like very naturally to me because it's summer in New Zealand, so I already had my shirt off and I was already like sitting there being chilled. And typically you would be like, oh, let's turn our cameras on so we can like see each other and just like feel okay. Obviously Emir just was feeling self-conscious, so she didn't want to turn hers on. So I didn't turn my camera on so she could see me. Only chat saw me. Be clear, I didn't like flash her my tits. Because that would make me feel weird to like go out of my way to make her feel uncomfortable when she's like trying to be vulnerable. Oh, do you want to turn my camera on? Because City of Quartz is like who are we talking to?
Sure, let me see if I can throw you on the big screen. See if this will. There you go. That should work. Okay, but you gotta behave though. Don't
worry.
Show your tits. There you go.
I turned my stream on as well, so you have the security. But yeah, I'll get banned if I do anything weird.
But yeah, no, there's a couple things that, again, and this is irrelevant to the original point, which again, I genuinely don't know how you'd be able to move me on the idea that it's fair to hold, because again, even though you're mentioning like, oh, you're bringing me on and you're holding me accountable, I feel like this is very much different for what happened with the Emiya thing. In multiple different ways, which I feel like I already explained, but for some reason, I don't know if I'm just not connecting with what you're saying or you're not connecting with what I'm saying, but I feel like I haven't been moved a whole lot, which is fair. It's fine. Like I said, I'm going to do my due diligence. And if I ever mention like my feelings, they're never going to come from a place of like, oh, Crispy Lettuce is like mentally ill or insane or schizo, or he skipped out on talking to RTB about streaming movies when he did. Like, that's not where it's going to come from. And I probably won't. It's not something that I'll keep harping on unless, like, I don't even know if I'll keep harping on it, even if people bring it up. Like, if I brought, like, I think I brought up on the past to people offline, like Justical, but on stream, I don't know how often I mentioned it. Maybe twice, I think. But either way,
if it was like, if you didn't bring it up, you'd be like defending me when you shouldn't be, just by like hiding my past.
I see that completely different. It's not a matter of defending it. Like, if I stay quiet, it's not that I'm defending you. It's not my job. It's not my job to be a walking advertisement for your mistakes.
Mm-hmm. But that's not what I did, right? I didn't actually like make content.
To me, like,
I mean,
I don't see how that's talking for her.
I mean, she got a chance to come in and defend herself. People don't know her and they want to know her, and then when they go to find out about her, that's what they see. Sorry, I had a way better point.
I guess. Oh, hold on. So, what would you do? You feel like maybe your actions? Hold on. Did you always have the intention of bringing her on to talk? Was that always the plan from the beginning?
I was super open to it, but I didn't like put any effort into doing it.
Did you at any point in time give like disclaimers of like, hey, we're looking at this, but this is not representative of her right now? Did you like say these things? Like, we don't know if she still behaves these ways?
Yeah, I did bring that up. I think like every 10 or 15 minutes, I would like show that this was like 4 years ago.
Okay.
And that that's changed and we don't judge. I'm real good at the disclaimer stuff that Stephen does so much.
Sure. Because in my opinion, and maybe I have the most negative view of the events that took place, but in my opinion, is what happened was you were looking at Emiya's stuff, be it because you didn't know or not, that's not really as important as the fact that like her past sins were being on display, and maybe your intention wasn't to like ruin her, but the end result would have definitely have been that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then the opportunity to do content showed up for you to get like, and again, this might be the worst interpretation of this. The idea of having Emi on and getting to talk about this while being memey and stuff like that is definitely something that's appealing for sure. And you allowed that to happen, and you even brought in Xena too, and that ended up, in my opinion, personal opinion, being like a shit show. Right? Obviously, right now you're presenting me the story a lot more different. If somebody or the chat brought up to you, you're familiarizing yourself while giving disclaimers. That's all very good, and it changes my perspective of things quite a bit, at least from what I remember seeing.
Yeah, I totally thought Xena was gonna represent Emiya and interview Emiya and talk to her like in a good way, but she didn't do that. And then when Emiya left, Xena says, let's start drama with some chatters, because you got a bunch of chatters right now, and like, you know, it's pretty easy to like pick fights with them.
Xena said that, right?
Yeah, Xena said that, and I was like, Xena, I was like, never in my life am I gonna. I don't want to watch entertainment with you picking fights with random people or starting drama to upset people, and never in my life am I gonna like watch that shit or do it on my stream. It's fucking pathetic, and you need to like go write a book, go work on like something constructive. So I sort of Xena still talks to me sometimes, but I only talk to her about like doing, Xena has like that novel that she wrote.
Sure.
You probably don't know. Yeah. So like I talked to her about that, and I'm like, hey, how about we like go rework that first chapter of your novel, which she just doesn't really buy into.
Sure.
But it would make me like a lot happier to see her not be such a fucking degen. Not because it's Xena, just because it's like anyone. I guess she personally, she kind of disgusts me with the way she is. I
personally am probably not going to touch the Xena stuff much more. But I'll say this. I'm glad that you came on and then we have this discussion. I don't know if necessarily got super moved one way or another, but I will say I feel like it's one thing that you did do. If maybe the intention, the intention doesn't matter. It's the end result. And you did bring her on, and that was cool that she got to defend herself. That's nice. The same way that you should have the ability to defend yourself if somebody is talking a certain way about you on stream. So, so I'm glad that you got to come in. Thanks for...
But, like, if I can move you in any way, it should be because, like, I'm never going to, like, make cancel culture about someone or, like, randomly hate on people or start drama just because I think that's fun or for content. Like, I don't really make content. 90% of my stream is nothing.
Sure.
So it's like never for clout, never for like, maybe sometimes it seems like it's like for bad faith or whatever, and maybe it is because that's just who I am. I don't know.
Yeah.
So I'm not even like a great person, but Emiya should just like have to live with like the consequences of her actions.
I feel like she hasn't she?
Especially on these clients. Yeah, she has lived with them, and I imagine that she'll have to keep living with them. Right?
I don't know. Like, is that really like indefinite? Like, it's just really so like. I feel like she has tried plenty on stream.
The problems of our lives usually are like indefinite. When people say like pain or whatever gets less over time, it doesn't. You just get better at handling it. In a similar way, Emiya could like actually do something. I feel like whether it's like make an apology video, and then she can just always like link people back to that apology video, which would make it way easier than having to actually come on my stream.
Did she not apologize on the VOD with Hassan and Destiny there? Well, did she literally break down crying saying I haven't watched that VOD, but I thought I remember that happening on that VOD. I thought that
I think that VOD is, if it's the only, so she could have linked me like a convincing VOD, and it could have just like redeemed the whole situation. So instead of being like, please just don't talk about it, she could have been like, hey, look at this, and then I wouldn't have had to be like, oh well, I don't want to feel like I have to like censor myself or the world from certain things.
Well, what I feel like
now I don't
is
have to. Now I can just like see how it actually played out, and it played out in a way which makes you look good. So and she had her opportunity to come in and do that, but instead she just begged me to like censor herself.
Yeah,
which is like definitely
I
like
guess.
a more virtuous like pursuit by me than censoring her or trying to cancel her or anything like that.
I mean that sure, that's true. I feel like there's a lot of fuck it, I'll say it. I feel like there's a lot of decency that's being taken like for granted in this case, right? Like I feel like what you're saying is that to me, even me letting you come in, inviting you to come in to defend yourself, to me is the bare minimum, right? And it doesn't necessarily make me any more virtuous for doing that. I could do worse. I could talk shit on you and all this stuff, uh, but I don't feel like that buys me points. Like I don't feel like that's like a good. The same way, like I don't feel like I'm a particularly good person because I let you come here defend yourself. I genuinely don't
like
have that
makes you
impression.
better than most people though, like especially because I don't have a platform. You can't get any clout from it. I feel like that would make most people do it if I was super famous. Which would
Yeah,
even
maybe.
be a lesser bare minimum, right? Or a really bare minimum, like, oh, I let you come in and defend yourself. It's like, yeah, but you got a bunch of exposure. No, you're not even getting that. So you doing what you think is the bare minimum, in my point of view, makes you better than most people. Because like I said, most people just have like no valid reason for doing what they're doing. They just are like in a little snowball to try to make a few friends who are like, oh, this guy's like shitting on things, which makes him look cool because he's like dominating the people who are into anime or like dominating fucking people who watch Gappy or whatever. And so yeah, people just do shitty things constantly. Like most people just do shitty things constantly in order to make a few friends, get a little bit of clout for their own self-validation, which is like super trippy.
Sure.
And then they just fall into a circle of like them being so insecure that their friends are also just like insecure shitters. So you just get like this group of insecure shitters.
Sure.
And
Yeah, but
so
I feel like your personal
in some ways you're like getting away from that, but in other ways you're probably also influenced by it, right?
Maybe, but I feel like I'll say this, maybe taking a little bit of a step back on that last comment is I feel like your personal philosophy of your personal philosophy that you're mentioning that like Emiya should have to live with the consequences of her actions is kind of a little bit different than what you are mentioning right now. Because, for example, a lot of people would consider them treating you like shit and having like a little group and clique around hating you the consequences of your actions, right? It's what the crowd kind of determines to be. Right now, you've determined that the consequences of Emiya's action should be explaining herself for the rest of like, so long as people bring stuff up.
Well, she doesn't have to come on my stream. Like, she doesn't have to do any of that. If she wants her narrative and her story to be different, then it will be, right? Or she could probably like I said, it's like if she was a child who had only known to like crawl under the duvet and cry quietly because no one ever comforted in her life. I'm not gonna like blame her for not having like a better coping mechanism. And maybe sometimes it is my like, especially if I am like pulling this shit up, it could be my responsibility to like help teach her a better coping mechanism. But it's not my fucking fault that she doesn't have a better coping mechanism.
I don't know about that last statement, but also I feel like
about
in a sense, I feel like
her to have a better coping mechanism, or
I don't feel like it would be anyone's responsibility to teach her a coping mechanism. Genuinely. Secondly, what I would say is that
and making her need one, I kind of feel obliged, right?
Maybe I'm getting caught up on the word responsibility. If you want to do that, that's okay, but that's like on you. Like the same way that like when I spoke to Xena, and maybe these are two different things.
When I spoke to for not doing it in the same way where you would feel bad for shitting on me too hard, right?
Yeah, but that's an us problem.
Well, don't you feel kind of responsible to like maybe not shit on me too hard or whatever?
Yeah, because that's like my morals. Yeah,
that's what you hold yourself to, right? And that's difficult to like be better. And I guess Emiya should have to like do some difficult learning curves as well, and I hope that they get easier for her over time.
Sure, but I feel
what she did was like pretty egregious. so egregious enough to make people hate her when they see it.
No, hold on. No, hold on. Enya did a lot of really annoying shit, and I genuinely think that most of the reason it's warranted for people to hate somebody who's that elusive and who's that like sneaky about holding herself responsible. But that's mostly why people hate. I feel like it's fucked up, the idea that she did something entirely heinous. What people hated her for was just not literally admitting, yeah, the Nutella face was kind of fun, which later on she did, like crying after being pressed on for like a long fucking time, or the clown world stuff. Like people kept pressing her on it over and over, and she was super sneaky, and that's part of why people hate her. But let's also not pretend like a large amount of her hate doesn't come from the fact that she is exactly as you described, like a girl. And a lot of girls on DGG are seen as exactly that. Like her coping mechanism is kind of like staying quiet and kind of like crying in the corner, not having. I feel like there is
it's not that she is a girl, it's that she's playing into the tropes of being a girl. It's shocking to see 4 years later, after being ousted as like a racist and a liar, when she actually comes back on, she hasn't bothered to actually make a decent coping mechanism. She hasn't bothered to like have an apology video. She hasn't made any effort to like grow as a person, because she literally just came back in and basically asked me to obscure the truth again, which is just directly tied to her traits from 4 years ago, where she's just like lying again.
That is, I feel like it's such an uncharitable framing.
Well, that is exactly what happened. Well, uncharitable as in way too brutal and honest. Like,
she literally, hold on. No, she literally asked you, like, what do I have to do for us to move past this? It's not like she literally came in, like, it would be one thing if she said, like, no, you can't show this, you scumbag. She comes in, and we have no idea how much she's grown as a person. We genuinely don't. It could be that she is even worse of a person, but neither you or me know, because as far as we know, I haven't checked her fucking public channels. I haven't checked, like, the statements that she makes, and I would be willing to bet that neither have you. Right? Like, we don't know if she's grown as a person or not. She literally just came into a chat, which, to be fair, she owes nothing to the people here, to the people of DGG. What does she owe? Like an apology for being like super fucking snaky? What's she gonna do? Come in chat with like, hey guys, here's the video to my apology about being like super weaselly about the shit that I did 4 years ago. And then people in chat are gonna do what? Like just kill yourself, and who cares? Like, who asked? Like, she owes nothing to this chat, so she should be able to come in here. And if she sees somebody replaying, doesn't matter the intentions, like her worst of moments from God knows how many years ago, she comes in because you do give her the opportunity to do that. Good on you. And then she asks, "What does it take for you to turn this off? Like, what do we need here?" I don't know how you can walk away from that framing of her coming in, not knowing how to cope, and begging you to obscure I mean, in a way, yes, she is, but it's not out of a sense of like malice or being like, that doesn't make her a bad person. She's literally trying to negotiate with you for you not to roll out the shit that happens like years ago. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know how you can have.
Well, I can think of a whole bunch of different ways to walk away from it, and some of them are like really good, and some of them are really bad. The one that occurred to me at the time was just to be like, hey, like, I haven't really thought about this, and I'm not really sure. I've never been in her situation, so I have to like put brain power into empathizing a simulated reality where I am her, which just was not happening at the time. But one of the good ways, or one of the probably the worst way I could have, like you said, she doesn't owe anything to chat, and a lot of the ways that people deal with her are just like, hey, kill yourself, or whatever. Yeah, I could have just said to her, like, hey, just never come back to chat and never talk to us again, and then everyone will get over it. Or maybe I could have put it in, like, the whole simulated thought reality to, like, figure out what was best for her, which is probably what she should have done because she's living her life and is her person. You'd think she would have already thought, like, hey, like, this actually bothers me, I put a bunch of time in, I want effort from chat, they don't owe me anything, but I do want something from them, so I should probably figure out how to, like, get it. And, like, here's this, like, obvious problem, is that, like, I've been a really shit person in the past, I'm gonna do an apology, I'm gonna link it to people, I'm gonna be ready with this, like, good response. Rather than just trying to, like, milk my emotions by, like, seeming like a vulnerable fucking,
Okay, hold on. Do you see that right there? Like,
she wanted me to obscure the truth because she was a sad, vulnerable girl.
But even that framing right there is like, oh, she came in to like milk my emotions. Like, probably, but I would have done the exact fucking same. If there's somebody replaying Wolfgang worst of when he like gaslighted his girlfriend and like punched their dog or something like that, I would have probably come in and I would have probably pleaded and begged. And it's kind of weird to think that the way that you'd see that is like emotional milking. So I guess in your idea is for her to kind of make some kind of amends with the chat because she does want something out of chat. Sure, I disagree with that because I feel like it's just useless. Like I genuinely don't feel like chat would give much, like in terms of like the actual effect that it would have. It'd probably be fucking nothing, genuinely, in my opinion.
Okay, so to give her like a better form of light, if you were in my situation, it would have worked. But I'm so fucking black-pilled that it just like bothers me, right? So I guess that's bad luck for her. And from my point of view, she should probably figure out like a more solid method of doing it rather than being like placated into just like constantly trying to obscure the truth and being like, oh, what you did wasn't that bad. And it was bad. It was fucking like outrageous. No, there's actually like no excuse.
It was bad. It was bad, but I don't know if it's worth like carrying on for years.
When she was like putting on those videos, she seems like the type of person who would have seen like a black person with cancer get up and do like a speech in front of the class about how tough their life was, and just like laugh at them in front of the whole class and be like, ha, fuck you, and then probably get barely any consequences for it. That person dies like 2 years later, and then 4 years later, she's just like, oh, you know, people should move on. It's like no, people, you should be held accountable for all of your mistakes for the rest of your life, and you should figure out a way to like grow and recover from those, right?
But who determines if she's changed enough? Like, what's the line where we determine like, oh, you know what, we don't need to keep bringing this up?
Like, and that chance, it was me, right? And what I would like say to her was just like, yeah, you are here to convince me or like whatever. And you can do it, and I'm totally open to it. Like, I want more substance in my life, so provide me with more substance. And then her substance was just to avoid all accountability, which is like super fucking frustrating.
I just don't feel like we're gonna necessarily move each other on this one. And plus, my stream is like well past beyond the point of ending because I got other stuff to do. But I will say thanks for coming on.
Don't you feel frustrated that you're just like encouraging her to have no accountability?
No, I don't think it's.
Have you not just been continuously fucked over by people in your life who then just like refuse to accept it, and you just want to like, and you've just like resigned yourself to like, oh, well, that's just the way things are. I wish I could resign myself more to just like being naive.
It's not the way that things. It's not the way that things are. Like I have no fucking idea. Like I don't have the wherewithal to be in their life to determine if she suffered enough or if she's paid enough. I genuinely have no idea. Maybe behind the scenes, this person has been extremely fucked up, and she's coming here to try and have some fun. Big mistake. I don't think anybody, and that's a lesson for fucking Xena too. I don't feel like anybody who's been milked by DGG chat, I don't think that's the place to go for you to have fun or for you to relax. And maybe these people understand that, they still make the choice, fine. But like, I have no idea to be able to determine as an outsider in her life. And I feel like the mob does hold some responsibility to be able to know when the fuck to stop. Because neither you or I have clue if she's earned the whatever stripes she needs to move past this. I genuinely don't think that's the case, and I feel like it's extra fucking weird for people online to try and be the arbiters of whether she's done that or not. Mind you, it's a lot easier if she's super public about all the mistakes that she's made. Like if she continues doing blackface Nutella and like hurting animals and shit like that, obviously the mob probably does have a lot more reason to assume that she hasn't changed at all, and it can probably make some action based on that, be her like cancel culture or be whatever she doesn't get any penance for, sure, but like we don't know. Like I don't think she's been super public about like her life in a long time. Maybe Emiya fans will be able to say that she hasn't done anything like in 5 years. Why not just care again if she'll do? Yeah, exactly.
3 to 4 years, and if that's a long enough time for her to get over it, or for us to get over it, it could probably also be like a long enough time for her to think up some sort of way to like make up for her deeds.
I understand, but we also disagree, and I don't think we're going to see eye to eye on this, no matter what, because you're saying that like it would be nice.
We see eye to eye on like a lot of things. Like I told everyone constantly that yeah, it has been a long time, so like I totally get where you're coming from with that. It's just like the outcome of it for you is just that she only has to do like I don't see your level of change as being like the bare minimum amount of change, especially enough to like dictate my actions.
The level of change that I require in order for her to be forgiven is just not exhibiting bad behavior. Like, again, if we were personal friends, if you and I were in her life and we knew about what she,
I still think that like the way she,
because she came in and begged you to stop like talking about it.
Yeah, because when I was like, for what reason, she just like didn't have any. She didn't apologize to me. So, she wasn't like, because I am really sorry about it. She was just like, I just don't want to.
Yeah, because she probably doesn't feel like she needs to apologize to like strangers that weren't even involved. So if you're just finding out about this, right? If you're just hearing about this, like if I made a mistake 4 years ago and I felt like I went through my like that's what I'm saying. What? Okay, hold on. Let's maybe circle back to something that maybe will distract us from the main point, which I'm worried about.
Me and Chat weren't asking her for an apology or anything.
What I will say is that like the things you're saying right now, in my opinion, contribute to the idea that like, and I'm not going to use what I want to find a different word other than schizo, because I understand what people tie schizo. Now that you told me like, oh, schizo is going to tie to like mental illness and people are going to think that I'm bad. I'm going to say.
Plus, when you say it makes me sort of excited because I'm like, maybe I'll get some like further analogy, some further explanation as to like how to deal with people calling me schizo. Because I finally got a more reasonable person calling me schizo. Sorry. I'm griefing.
Let me figure out how to say this. If we were in her personal life, we would probably be able to much better determine whether she deserves punishment or scrutiny or anything else like that. But there's no way that the average viewer like you and me can determine with the passage of time that she deserves to keep being harassed over the same thing. I genuinely don't feel like there's any way to have enough knowledge to warrant that. Like, I feel like that is insane. And when I tell you like, oh, so what is she still doing wrong to come in and deserve that level of scrutiny? I'm sorry, could you remind me what you said again? That she's still like acting or behaving in bad ways, like that she's still displaying the same behaviors. What was it that she did?
In a similar way where she was like lying in the past. She hasn't like grown enough as a person to like, she's moved a little bit off of like being like an obnoxious, in your face, disrespectful liar to the point where she's now just asking other people to like obscure what happened for her. If she doesn't want to have any accountability to what happened, she could override it with other things like becoming well loved or by becoming whatever. And that's if she wants to be the attention. Obviously, Chat doesn't owe her anything, and she doesn't, she's under no obligation to be liked by us. But if she wants to be, but why would you?
How would you even determine that? How would you even determine if she's been like well loved? Because the only metrics that we have of her changing and being well loved is literally her coming onto DGG chat and making a couple jokes. That's it. Like, what I'm saying is that if it seems like you're making a lot of determinations of her character and the growth that she's had based off of her coming to DGG chat and just posting a couple things. And again, disclaimer: I don't like Emiya. I think she's fucking annoying.
Okay. But even with, would you like her?
No, I think she's annoying, but that's because I have personal petty reasons for thinking like certain people are annoying. Certain people say things that like annoy me, but those are like me problems. Those are not her problems. And I feel like right now the metrics that we have to be able to make a personal determination on growth, which would excuse or at least like give us room to like scrutinize or criticize or say that she hasn't grown, therefore she deserves more accountability. It just isn't there. Like for a random chatter like you and me that don't know her,
accountability would be great. And that's even not her fault. It's just that there is such a lack of accountability in people all throughout the fucking world that it impacts me. It's a me problem that other people don't have any accountability.
So for again, and you can tell me if I'm only picking up part of it, but if she makes an apology video that's easy and concise, that explains that she was truly sorry for what she did, and if she links that every time somebody brings it up on DGG, like that would be the way to go for her. Because again, I would agree with you that if we could determine that she's had personal growth, it would be one thing. But we can't. We're not in her personal life. We have no idea if she goes to shelters to help puppies because of what she did. We have no idea if she like donates or if she like gives her like I don't know what to call it, like her time to X reason or Y reason. So with the metrics that we have, would it be enough for her to just go ahead, come into DDG chat, have fun, and the moment somebody brings up her past, she just links an apology video that she's done before, and that's the way to go for her personally? Like, your prescription would be that, or what would it be? Like, what are we looking at here?
That's like a pretty robotic approach, because like you've ruled out the whole part where like her doing good things would circumnavigate her having to apologize, because like similar to Steven or the fucked up shit that he said, people are like, well, like here's all the other good things that he's actually done, right? So yeah, it would, in reality, it would be a combination of her at some point managing to make a real apology, which I haven't seen yet. Couldn't find a makeup stream with her or Steven, couldn't find anything like that, just found like Weasel streams. Which is unfortunate that maybe like all the haters on the internet are super loud and all the people that like her are super quiet, but I don't really see anyone hating on her anyway, regardless. So even if what I, maybe what I did like might have spurred people on to hate her, I don't see it happening. Okay. Yeah, she could do things to be more well liked, and if she ever feels like backed into a corner where she needs to apologize, one, she should be able to do it, but she isn't. Or not just like apologize, like show remorse. She didn't show remorse for any of it. She just showed regret. Kind
Dude,
of.
Even that determination, being able to determine like
she showed regret to what was happening in the moment, not regret for the past. It was.
Yeah, I mean, even that determination, like I can tell you for a matter of fact, and to me, this is me being responsible. I don't think I would be able to make the personal determination whether someone is showing just regret or like actual, I don't know, like a desire to change or like regret. Like I personally wouldn't make, I would take somebody in good faith, because I don't, maybe people are much better empaths, and maybe you're an empath too who can kind of tell, but I would never be able to make that claim that what she said was like more of just upset that she got caught rather than wanting like change. I don't know. Like a lot of the things that you're saying to me are just out of the realm of being able to know. Like, for example, you can say, oh, she can continue to do good things. We don't know if she does. What I think I hear you saying is she should publicize good things, because she could be doing good things right now. You and I don't know. I could be like, we just don't know. So what you realistically saying, like, hey, if you want to get like DGG on your side, or like the chat that doesn't forgive you, probably publicize the good things that you're doing, probably make it clear, which sure, that might be like a fair thing to say. It might be fair to say, like, nobody's going to know the good things that you did unless you publicly announce them, right? Who's going to know that you've been like giving hours at a I don't know, like a dog shelter or something like that? And maybe that's fair. Again,
yeah, well, she probably should promote doing those good things, right? Because even a lot of people think that like benevolent action or altruistic action doesn't exist, because then you go tell everyone about it and you get something back for that. But by like promoting your altruistic actions, you become like a better role model for people, which is good in itself. So
sure.
So
you know what?
Yeah, if she's like refusing to like advertise her altruistic actions, that in itself is kind of like morally dubious, right? And yeah,
sure.
I don't have the brain power to like simulate all possible realities and then deduct which one's the best one to determine who is being good behind the scenes and who's not being good behind the scenes. But in that moment, you were empathetic enough to read into like what I was doing as kind of shitty and what she was doing as at least justified as being treated better. And that's even in the case where like I was showing regret at the time for the way that she felt, that I didn't want her to feel bad, but also it wasn't enough to like change my perspective on things. And that all just seems to be like a matter of time for you, which I don't know. Time.
Well, yeah, because
time just doesn't matter the thing is, to me at all. Like,
yeah, for me, I just factor in the determination that there's a lot that we don't know in the background, and I'm always going to be. Doesn't matter who they are, even people who I hate currently. I'm always going to assume charitably that with time comes growth, and until they demonstrate otherwise, I'll assume that.
Right. So
I think
yeah, I guess I'm sort of the opposite. For me, I don't think time shows growth, especially with Emiya. She doesn't seem to have like grown sufficiently, and I don't think that makes her a bad person. She's just unlucky that she's like
well,
incapable of
yeah.
operating in the world and growing as a person. Right.
Yeah, I guess you're gonna see that time, and you're not gonna see any posts about her like doing actions that you would consider like virtuous or better, and you're going to assume exact same.
Like I scoured the internet for like everything I could. So if she doesn't want to put the effort into, which is sad that she doesn't want to put the effort in. Like I saw the way that she lives in her flat, and it's worse than mine. And I don't even
wait,
like
like currently.
I just saw like 3 different flats and bedrooms that she lived in, and there was just like dog shit everywhere, and you know, stuff like that. One of them there was dog shit because of the events, but yeah. It's a good analogy.
I don't think
because it all seemed like dog shit.
Yeah, I guess we're just like I said. I guess we're just going to be also another difference of opinions in that sense. Like I feel like
I feel like you've probably been negatively affected by this conversation, unfortunately.
No, I don't know. Like it would be. I just don't know how to. I just don't know how to change your mind. Is the only thing. And like I don't know. I feel like it's more of. Does it come down ultimately like to you being like more pessimistic and me being more optimistic? Maybe that might be the case. I just feel like it's.
My mind would just be changed by her like providing some level of actual recomps or putting back into the community as opposed to just like taking from it.
Sure. Yeah. But no, yeah, it just seems like a difference of opinions that we'll get to have. And like I said, I'm not going to hold you to doing the thing that I thought was scumbaggy for like the rest of your life too. Like these are my opinions right now. But again, like that doesn't indicate who you are for the rest of your life, in my opinion. That's just personally me. So you don't need to worry about my impressions right now. I'm obviously.
It feels like you just have cognitive dissonance to what's going on, and then you're just telling me that I can one day be a good person so that you can feel good about yourself.
No, it's not. No. Hold on.
I'm such a piece of shit.
I'm not making a judgment on who you are as a person. Everything that I'm saying is my personal like opinion. I have no idea. I have no idea who you are. I have no idea if you fucking help puppies at the shelter. I have no idea if you help disabled. I have no idea what you do that is virtuous. All that I know is at a personal level, do I like or dislike you? And if I ever talk shit on you, I'm always going to be, I'm not sure maybe who you need to talk to convince this, but every time that I talk shit on somebody, just like Turtle Co, for example, Turtle Co did something that annoyed me. She just literally was making jokes and it was super petty and stupid. And I said as much, which was Turtle Co was like, oh, somebody did a Destiny iceberg video. And like, it feels like this person doesn't know enough. And then I heard that Turtle Co apparently was in the community for like a year. And then I was like, well, it's dumb as fuck for you to start talking shit on this guy, apparently, even if jokingly, if you've been in the community for so little time. And then I spoke to Turtle Co and I was like, oh, this is a silly opinion that I fucking had. Same way about you. I'm not going to say that you're a piece of shit, and I don't want to propagate the idea that you are a piece of shit. What I want to propagate the idea is that I disliked your actions, and I don't like you. That is purely, this is a me and you thing. And if anybody wants to walk away with an opinion of you that's like, oh my God, he spoke to Wolfgang, and Wolfgang said that he was a piece of shit, this guy's definitely a piece of shit, then they're definitely walking away with, in my opinion, the wrong mindset out of this conversation. Because this started, and it still is, a conversation about personal beef, not a personal judgment on who you are as like a person. And it shouldn't be. And if anyone's listening to this and thinking that's the case, then I'm sorry, they're definitely wrong, right? This is like petty school stuff. I don't like you for a reason that like you did something at school, and that's about the extent of the depth of who you are as a person in this conversation.
Are you not having,
I'm definitely not going to be making...
Are you not having the cognitive dissonance that like I did feel regret for what Emiya was going through, and like I wished that she had like had a valid reason?
No,
like,
because I don't agree.
I don't feel better about her, but like I know.
Yeah, but I don't agree with
your. Like if I just like bow down to like all these things, maybe even socially it would be good because then I wouldn't be like disliked by you. But personally, it just feels like what the fuck.
Yeah. I don't feel like. Hold on. I don't feel like it should matter.
Sorry.
Well, I don't feel like it should matter whether I like you or not. I like people, like I said about the Turtle Co thing. It was the stupidest thing to have like any sort of ill feelings towards somebody. I don't feel like you should have the feeling that you need to win some kind of like approval or friendship out of me. I'm probably like a super fucking petty person. You don't need to worry about that. Yeah, listen. Fuck. What was I gonna respond with?
I'm gonna worry about it, and I'm gonna worry that you're in such cognitive dissonance right now.
Then that's out of my hands. I've done the best that I do to ease your. Then that at that point is your problem. Okay?
The least I can do to solve my problem is just like let you know that I'm worried that you're gonna need to go watch some puppies skipping through hay fields and getting massages.
Probably, but
to like heal your brain because you're tired and I pulled you in.
Yeah, it's more so because
And even it's more so all of the logic, and you're gonna have the whole world crashing down on you because you know I'm right, and you're gonna still have these defense mechanisms in your brain being like, you're gonna be like, no,
end my
you're like, no, deep down I love humans and I love Crisp Lettuce. I just don't like what he did.
No, it's
I'm
because
sorry that I regret that I don't
stream.
like him as a person.
Okay. Yeah. All right, buddy. Listen, I have to end my stream right now because I gotta go. Okay.
I'm hoping me being a real piece of shit at the end can make you feel better about things. All right.
Have a good night, Chris Blatters.
That's funny, bro. It's a joke. It's funny. All right.
I'm gonna disconnect you. You
good
better
luck.
go. I have to get out.
Yeah. Good luck with everything. Stay safe. The end can make you feel better about things. All right.
Have a good night, Chris Blatters.
That's funny, bro. It's a joke. It's funny.
I'm gonna disconnect you. You better go. I have to get out.
Yeah, good luck.
Okay. All right. Well, if you like that personal brief, like if you like that personal drama, that high school level drama, from in my opinion, my side too.
God, I hate the term high school drama because it's just
drama.
like it is adult drama.
Like watching that.
That is what adult. That's the level that adults fucking run on.
The follow buttons are beneath you, and the subscribe button is definitely one that you should press.
Oh fuck! I should have.
Actually, I make my money out of commissions too, so don't feel like you're.
Hey, I've been Crisp Lettuce. Welcome to my show. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe and smash that I love you button. Post those DGLs and keep them coming. I need donations because I'm struggling.
If you do follow, don't expect this kind of content regularly. If it's something that I can engage with that I think is good, then that's great. But otherwise, yeah.
He's good.
I love
He's
you
good
guys.
at that.
It's been a good night. I need to go. I need to go do other shit. I love you guys.
God, yeah, that's a good. I would love to engage with things as well. What was that conversation about?
Oh wait, no, she doesn't stream.
Considering he didn't manage to convince me of anything, and in fact it allowed me to solidify my views, we might as well go watch the Emiya stream that I did. The stream that I got banned on, and how dangerous is it for me just to like browse like this live on stream? Boom 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 boom. I actually do want to watch the Emiya video, so we're gonna watch it. Hold up, let me see if the VOD's labelled on my YouTube so that I can look this shit up. Man, it's super nice of that guy to actually let me like collab and make content. I really want to ask him like about his heritage and culture and stuff, because he wears these like necklaces and he's got these like fern like tomoku patterns and stuff, kaori patterns on his stream. Seems like he's got some New Zealand culture bleeding in, although a lot of things like swirling snake-like patterns are shown across every culture, so alright, let me see. I'm just on my YouTube right now. There's got to be an Emiya stream. Emiya. Watching Emiya lore.
for this. I feel like if anyone else had done this, I don't know. I feel like you wouldn't have given any ground.
Did I start my stream halfway through the Emir lore? Probably. What the fuck was that conversation about? What do you mean by dangerous? What did I mean by dangerous? Use it in a sentence. What do you mean dangerous for Twitch? I don't think I meant dangerous for Twitch. I wasn't talking about like Twitch stuff.
Even when it came to Irish Laddie, you can go back to the VODs and I'll give
So this is
$1,000
Hassan.
to every person.
This is Hassan and Destiny arguing about.
Even when it came to Irish Laddie, I literally said
Emir.
like the next day that I don't give a fuck if Irish Laddie does online content. I don't care if it comes back to my community. Like, I'm fine with that. I just wanted to realize what he did was wrong, and like in a couple months or whatever, I'll probably unban him and could come back. No, I'm not the same type of insanely fucking vindictive person that like everybody on your side of the internet is. I don't do that. I never engage in that. I never have and I never will.
I'm not either. If I was that person, don't you think that I would have attacked her?
I shaved, by the way.
Okay, so then I don't give a fuck about screenshots or logs from her from fucking 2 or 3
Man, I need a
years
Swiss
ago.
ball or
And
something
she
to
said
sit
that
on.
She comes on now and she wants to be like, oh well, fuck, you know, this is dumb shit and I'm done with it. Like if they're
Let
done
me
with
turn
it,
my
then put it in
camera
the
off and
past
I'll
fucking
reset
move on.
my-
Why continue to push people farther?
She didn't. So wait, okay, let's talk about that then. Out of her statements, what made you feel like she felt like what she had said in the past was bad? Do you
It's
feel like
pretty
she admitted
reasonable.
that she had said those things.
I mean, I feel like she pretty much said that, like, she was, I don't remember specifically which parts, but yeah, it sounded like she said she was sorry that she did it. She didn't want to apologize to everybody on my fucking stream. Here, okay. Oh my god, this is a fucking mistake.
By the way, crying is one thing, and it definitely is effective. I mean, it worked on me as well.
There
you
are
could be
people that
crying
do
because you
that.
feel like you've gotten outed, or you could be crying because you feel threatened.
Or there are
because you
people that
feel
just cry a lot when they
upset.
talk.
No, I know. I'm just talking to like members in your community right now who are like, she cried, which means she apologized. Like, that doesn't mean she's apologetic. I don't think she actually said, here are the things I said. It was fucked up, and I understand, and I'm trying to do better, and I'm trying to move beyond that.
Okay, good luck.
That's all I'm looking for, and I think that
Alright, go get him.
I
Good luck.
think that her
Feels good to know I was arguing against Hassan, and Wolfgang was Hassan in that conversation.
In changing her behavior.
That's not true. I think it's actually kind of responsible of me to take my actions into my own hands and not just apologize because I'm being oppressed on stream. I'm not going to sit here and apologize just because people are attacking me and make it seem disingenuous. Because who am I apologizing to? People who already think poorly of me? People who aren't going to take my genuine apology? I'm going to first
Do
apologize
you
to
not
people
understand who you're supposed to be apologizing to for saying the
yes,
N-word with a hard R multiple times?
I'm going to go on after all of
people
this
that might have been
can I
victims
talk
of
at all?
racism because you
Can I talk?
perpetuated you. By the way, this is a good conversation to have. I
Let me
think.
talk. Let me finish.
Okay, finish.
After all of this settled, after things were going to lay low a bit, I was going to either one, go live and explain to my community first that stuff happened in the past that I want to apologize for because I don't want people to see me as that anymore, and I don't want to advocate for that stuff anymore, and I don't want to represent that stuff. Then I was gonna talk about it on Twitter. I wasn't gonna make Destiny's stream all about me. I'm not gonna use Destiny's platform as a way for me to apologize because you know how disingenuous that is. Why should I wait until this exact moment to apologize for those things? Just because I'm being pressed on it?
I
Just
don't know,
because I'm
because you were
exposed on
talking
it?
about it.
Just because I'm in the light?
Talking about it multiple times. You talked about it on my platform as well. You talked about it with
Yeah, but
Destiny's
that's
platform.
different. You
Instead of
literally
saying, like,
pressed me
oh,
on
those are
things
my
I didn't
statements.
understand.
Instead of admitting that those are the things that you said, you tried to lie about. You tried to hide the truth. You tried to lie and say that those weren't your statements. And then when you got called out on those lies, you continued by saying, "Oh, I must have had amnesia."
Never lied.
Don't you think
I'm
that comes
pretty sure
across
I
as
thought that.
disingenuous?
No, because antidepressants do give you memory loss. It's not amnesia.
Okay, memory loss. Oh, all right.
Like I said before, I don't think I can. I don't think.
You and Wolf were talking about this Emir person. Yeah, that's what we were talking about. So this is a stream we're watching right now, a stream that I did in the past. Maybe I should pull this down a little bit. Oh, fuck it. It's bad. I'll just put my own little blurb up manually. So yeah, we're rewatching a stream that I did about Emir when I was just hanging out in DGG. And then Emir came into chat, so I was like, who is Emir? So I started rewatching some old Emir content, and then this is probably going to make me look bad as well, because I'll be like giggling and finding all this fucked up shit, but this is the first time I'm seeing it all, so I'm just fresh and shocked by who this person is, who is currently hanging out in DGG chat. And then Emir came onto my stream and asked me to stop doing it. Which was too late. I'd already watched everything I could find. And now we're rewatching my stream of that happening.
I can't imagine myself saying those things. It's not me saying like I never said that. Never said that. I never said that. Like I can say right now that I never said that. Like I didn't come out so strong-willed and say like I would never say that.
So she's lying right here.
I said that I don't think I can see myself saying that.
I want to turn the volume
If
to
the
turn
person
her
says,
up.
like, no,
But...
you actually did say that. That's different.
Hold up. Let's move my face cam. My pure and thought side are always fighting. I don't know who to let win. Do I want a respectable life filled with good morals, or do I want to be successful by letting people jerk off to me for money? No good man would want to love a whore, but a whore like me can't be loved. Okay, it's just a shit post.
Okay. Do you
Or
want to
maybe Destiny's psyop
No,
and
go, hit about it,
to make chat feel. Oh, and this is me putting up logs that I found. Emir in 2020 said, Dan, Destiny has no idea what Wreckful meant for me. We're at a fucking pact. How was I supposed to react when I tell someone I want to kill myself? I won't kill myself if they don't, and then they do. Yeah, Destiny gets really pissed off because Emir apparently had some sort of like suicide pact or opposite, like a life pact with Wreckful, and then she sort of talks about it in a way that pisses him off. But I feel like this is an opportunity just to make a post as much about yourself. Yeah, you're just taking this opportunity to talk about yourself just as much as Wreckful. Emir told me and Melina that Wreckful was creepy and would ask her over and everything, and she thought it was weird. But now she's tweeting about how close of a friend they were and shit. I don't know, whatever.
Dude, you're
What?
go get him.
It's not a go get him situation. I already mentioned my point. I don't need to like reiterate it over and over again. There's like literally no reason to. She doesn't think that she doesn't feel the need to say that.
Okay, here's the question. Wait, so wait.
This feels weird. This feels weird considering the conversation I just had. Matt, you're doing it again. I'm a real piece of shit.
Emia, do you think you did wrong stuff? Do you think that you've done stuff
Yes.
that... Okay, do you think that posting on Friend World is bad? That it's like a neo-Nazi place, you probably shouldn't promote it?
I don't promote it. I'd never posted on there. I posted 2 memes from that onto
Just
my
like-
Twitter. A lot of people don't even know what Friend World was. My community had no fucking idea.
Okay.
After he told me what it was and what it
Wait,
stands
there
for,
are
I
actual
deleted the
posts on
post.
4chan saying that your stream is like a safe space for people like that. I don't
She's
know if you're
lying
aware
and
of this,
Destiny's
I'm not
defending
holding
her
you
because he doesn't
responsible, but, like,
know she's lying.
understand that like other people do know on your stream that is literally
But he suspects that she might be.
a safe space for people like that and people that have those sort of opinions.
What am I supposed to do about that? I had no idea about any of
Has
that.
fucking 2 weeks all they has done is
Am I
trying
supposed
to get
to
attention
like
from
scope the
big
internet for
streamers.
people saying those things?
No, don't
I
act
don't
like
promote it.
I'm just saying like don't act like you're innocent of this. I'm trying to tell you.
Innocent of
If you
the
admit
thought
if you
was
admit to this
something
stuff, if you admit to this stuff, and I'm not like other leftists or I don't, and Destiny certainly is not like other leftists, but if you admit to your wrongdoing in the past, and then say, look, I understand now after talking to a bunch of these people that crypto fascism works in this nefarious way, and paired up with my obviously awful past, so the things that I've done and the things that I feel
I
upset
literally
about.
said that on Destiny Stream earlier.
what?
Exactly what you're saying. I said I can see how those things tie in. I can see how people think that like the opposite. I literally said all of the things that you're saying.
Okay. It just seemed a little strange to me that
Was
you.
this a video on
That's why I
Destiny's
deleted
YouTube?
it.
It
Yeah,
just seems a little strange to me that you.
this is a video of Destiny's YouTube, and we're currently watching a video off my YouTube of me watching it.
Did not admit to any of those things a minute ago with Destiny when you were having that conversation.
I mean, I feel like she more or less did, though.
I'm not really talking
What?
in that
I feel
other
like you more or
video
less did.
because I'm generally pretty like not. I sort of got to work up to being like an interactive conductor, you know,
What do
Or
you mean more or
streamer.
less? Am I being fucking gaslit?
work up from being a conductor to a streamer. You know what I mean?
I don't know. Go back and look through the logs. I feel like when I brought up like the Friend World shit, she acknowledged earlier, like, oh yeah, that's like I see how that's like some Nazi shit, etc. I feel like she literally said that earlier. Am I crazy?
No, she said that, but I'm talking about like why it would look bad with 50% of the conversation surrounding
talked about that
what
too.
she's done
We
in the
literally
past.
talked about that too. I'm like, you see when people have like the N-word in your logs, etc., why people would think that like, you know, maybe you're like grifting or whatever. Like, we literally had this conversation.
And we said, yeah, and there's nothing you can do about it because the past exists and I can't. There's nothing, you know.
Okay, but you didn't admit to the past existing until you were pushed on it, and you consistently did not.
That's not true
And now
either.
you are, which is great, and I'm glad, and I hope you are actually sorry for
Well,
the
no,
things that you
now
might have
you're
said. But
forcing
even when you first
things.
joined the conversation, Emmy, the first thing you said was, "Who am I supposed to apologize to?" Which is indicative that you don't understand what the impact of your wrongdoing is.
No, I
mean,
was
it just seems
asking
like
you
a
a
pointless cyclical
theoretical question.
conversation at this point. But I mean, I don't know what we were supposed to even talk about more.
I wasn't asking in general who am I supposed to apologize to. I was asking you. Who do you think I should apologize to?
Oh, okay. So that was a genuine question. It wasn't like a defense.
No, because I already know who I have to, but I want to see what you had to
alright,
say,
well,
like what you think is correct.
There's no reason for us to further continue this conversation.
And I told you
But
exactly
yes.
what I was going to do. At first, I was going to apologize to the community, people who actually support me, not people who are against me for everything that I do, so that they know. And then second, I was going to go to the public with it. I'm not going to do it on Destiny's stream. I mean, I'm sure you're reading his chat. Like, they're already all against me. There's nothing I could say that could possibly get them to stop.
They're not against you because of things you might have said in the past. They're against you for not admitting those things and
Well, maybe
seemingly
once they
not
read the
feel bad
public-
about those things that you've said. Admitting to those things and claiming that you had short-term memory loss because of SSRIs in all of those numerous instances where you said the N-word or all these other times
Numerous?
is
Wait, how many? Wait, hold on. I'm really curious because I've seen the chat logs the one time.
Yeah, it
2
was
years ago.
one time.
How many other
Where's
times
the
were there?
numerous?
I mean, there's like an at Leafy is here where you call him the N-word
That's a
on
fucking.
various
That's not
different
even my
platforms.
tweet.
Like,
You're taking an account called Dicks Out for Harambe, and you think that's me just because it's the same. It's the
what
same.
account is
profile
this?
picture?
What are you talking about? Also,
That's
Wait,
where
link the
that
Twitter.
screenshot comes
Link the
from.
Twitter screenshot. Let's see it. Link the Twitter screenshot, boys.
I would also like to see it if someone can link it to me.
Oh yeah, the Twitter account is dicks out for Harambe.
Yeah, that's not fucking me.
okay, so you remember. All right, never mind.
Well, obviously, because that's a common thing that people try to say that I do. I haven't heard of the Over Russell logs.
I've also had people tell me that I literally, back in the StarCraft 2 days, that I said the N-word constantly. I've had so many people tell that to me. I even put a $1,000 challenge out to see if somebody could link a single thing, but people, even regardless of that, people still say that I said the N-word a ton back in my StarCraft 2 days, and I never did. Or like I did one time in a game as a joke to Huck because Orb got banned for it. But people still say that about me. Oh, actually, that Twitter account still exists.
Yeah, I see it.
Starting to feel like an internet hate mob a little bit in here. Oof, I don't know.
Dude, there's always, by the way, there's always going to be fake shit. I completely understand that.
Okay, sure, but like we've got an immature album.
Even in my statement, I said, paired up with a lot of the fucking incel rage when we were talking earlier before Emmy even joined the call, paired up with a lot of the...
I got banned because, like a while into the stream, a few hundred DGGs joined, and I was reacting to chat. I mean, I don't know if they said that's why I got banned. They probably were just like, figure it out, retard. So I got banned like innocuously, maybe. I get attacked innocuously, but I might have actually been banned for a proper reason.
The incel rage, there's going
And
to be
if there was a proper reason, that would be it.
Some things that she hasn't done, and together it's going to make it look fucking terrible. But openly admitting the things that you have done that are bad and saying like I am trying to get better is entirely different than just straight up saying, oh, I selectively don't remember these parts, but I selectively remember these parts.
You do understand
as
with
long as
that.
like new information keeps coming out. Of
Okay,
your
I'm pretty
past,
sure. Okay, so
and
here's the
you
question.
keep
I'm pretty sure that
defending
like
it,
I'm pretty sure that
with more new information that comes out, you keep saying like, oh.
Fuck, I feel like rewatching this is just going to make Wolfgang like me less. Which means he will never want to like talk to me, which will then provide like a culture of no one ever wanting to talk to me. Fuck. I guess I'll just have to do something relevant to get him to talk to me again or something.
That was a time I
Right?
didn't remember either, or this was a time I didn't remember
Lol,
either, and it
that'll
just
never
seems like
happen.
it just seems disingenuous.
So you think that it's just like a fake excuse that I genuinely don't remember some things that I've tried to push out of my brain because of like toxic situations or stuff that I just don't remember based on how long ago they were, or like things that have happened after that overtake it. Like you don't think that ever exists ever? That's just not a thing.
I think that people can absolutely be socially conditioned into thinking awful things, obviously, and I think that people should always have a chance to redeem themselves. But that redemption process starts with admission. And if there is no admission, and you consistently defend yourself and try to protect your reputation by claiming that you didn't ever do these things, then that makes me feel like you're not interested in redemption at all.
But when did I ever say exactly that? I've never done that. I would never do that. I said I don't see myself doing it because I didn't see myself doing it.
Don't you think that that comes across as a little disingenuous, though? That you're saying that you don't see yourself as doing it when there's so many instances, when there's so much evidence against it. Some of it is fake, surely. But a lot
Yeah,
of it is
if
real. A
you
lot of it
are
that you
streaming
literally
and
said
you engage with DGG offline chat, you get banned.
or wasn't even you, and then had to admit when forced into a corner.
And
I see it as that.
I had DGG chat open on my other screen, and I looked over, and suddenly it was like all people mentioning me, and I didn't really think, and my brain just clicked in and like started talking to chat, and I got banned. Because chat was like, get Emir in, get Xena in, blah blah blah. I even did a poll in chat to be like, who wants Xena to come in? What I should have done was just like, hey, don't talk on DGG chat, come to my Twitch and talk to me here. I just remembered, like, another reason I got banned is because they said that this was like irrelevant, what do they call it, skeleton posting or what, necro posting, but it seemed like super relevant because Emir was in chat and she has an orange name as like a past orbiter, so I was like, who is this orbiter? So I looked her up, and the only thing about her on the internet is just that she's like a fucking, well, there's a lot of stuff of people like loving her because she's like super hot and being like, yo, check out how hot Emir is, like I wish she was my girlfriend. And then there's like a whole bunch of stuff, and even she posts stuff like that playing into that, and then there's a bunch of stuff about this.
The things that I think now and the things that I'm for now are changed. And given if I was in that situation now, I don't see myself saying those things. I don't see myself.
Good. That's very different than claiming that you never said any of those things, or that you had short-term memory loss because of SSRIs, when those things may or may not have been said after being pushed into a corner to have to admit that you had said those things.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good start, and I want to believe you. I have no interest in like fucking canceling you or some shit.
You
I
know,
don't give
because
a
you
fuck.
didn't respond to any of my DMs and you just came on Destiny's stream to just kind of like talk about
I
it.
was going through all the stuff while half of Destiny's community was calling me a fucking idiot for not immediately calling you a Nazi, and then now Destiny having this conversation with you has forced my hand to be like, what the fuck are you doing? I know that he normally is way.
See, a lot of things like I agree with Hassan on, that she like never like had the accountability to like get on it and shit. But then when he's like, and they're all yelling at me for not calling her a Nazi, as if he's like consciously reading and absorbing that people want him to call other people Nazis. It's like, bruh, you act like you didn't do that as some sort of virtue signal, but just the fact that like you would care to bring it up shows that like you think it's some obligation that you're like avoiding doing. He's such a fucking... He was just so destined to become what he is today, an absolute
more
golem.
Ridiculous and avoids like logical inconsistencies like this.
An
when he's
empty
debating other people,
golem
so I
with
was
no
trying to figure out what was
brain.
going on,
That's
if there
not
was a
true. Not
reason
against
or
fucking normies that have like fallen into some. Dude, like, oh my
I
god.
guess I just don't believe like how much of a normie Emiya is.
Okay, so like
think
I
that's
literally
probably a
take these
difference that you
positions.
and
I
have.
think that you're projecting like the cancel culture or whatever you guys do onto me so hard. Like I'm trying to
Dog,
think of like
what are you
hold on, because
talking
I'm trying to think of like no, stop.
fucking
I have been
stupid
so rigidly consistent. Remember when PewDiePie dropped that N-bomb? I'm pretty sure we can go look up the YouTube video right fucking now where I said, oh, PewDiePie, I don't know if he's a racist or not. Like maybe he is, he's probably not. I don't know. He probably says the N-word a lot. Like I literally had this position all the fucking time. That like I'm not gonna sit there and instantly go, oh, that person 100% fucking Nazi. Oh, that person 100% fucking crypto fascist. I can tell by the way that they're negotiating these online platforms that they're definitely utilizing. Like no, I never fucking do this shit. That's insanity, dude. There are tons of people that got up and dumb shit like this.
100% a crypto
I also
fascist
don't
either. I'm
think
just saying
that,
she's played fast and loose, and she's played fast and loose consistently with the alt-right memes in a similar fashion to JonTron, and I don't think it's
Who's
as
JonTron? What?
okay. You don't have to know who JonTron is. I'm making a
But
point to
you're-
Destiny and his
okay,
community.
to
My
Destiny.
point is, like this is in a lot of ways no different than that situation, right? Am I crazy here? Don't you think that? Don't you think that like the amount of things that she has said and done in the past are quite similar to JonTron and the way that he was radicalized on the internet?
Yeah, but there's a difference. JonTron is like currently doing it. If JonTron were to come out and be like,
Of
oh,
course, but don't give. But
You
again,
only gave me
that's not the
screenshots of
point.
her
But
from 2
that's not the
years
point,
ago.
Destiny.
Yeah, that absolutely
she
is the
or is she
point.
not a normie in your eyes? Is she or is she not a normie?
Can I
If
say
she is
something?
Sorry, go.
pushing the same kind of rhetoric that if she's pushing even worse things than JonTron in the
I'm not
past,
pushing.
is she or is she not a normie? Did she grow up on the
I'm
internet, or
not
did she grow up in a
pushing.
Baptist family and totally
Hassan.
away from the internet?
Hassan, I said what I said about the internet, and I grew up. I'm not a normie. I know what memes are. I just didn't know they were so deep. I'm not a part of the political thing. I've never cared about politics. And like I said, like I didn't know what dog whistling was. I still don't know the difference between the left and the right. Like I didn't know these things that could be taken like double standards. I didn't know a picture of a clown meant that I was advocating for Nazism. I didn't know that a picture of a fucking dude with his hands like in the gimme gimme formation meant that I was anti-Semitic. Like I didn't know any of those things until people started roasting me and just immediately assuming things. Then I looked into it and I saw, yeah, these are different. It doesn't mean that I'm not like it doesn't mean that I'm a normie. It just means that I just didn't care to learn about those things because I didn't take the
So when
internet
you
that
say
serious.
bye-bye illegals, do you not understand what that means, or was that just a sequence of words that you forgot with the SSRIs?
No, it's just I
When you
think
took a photo of
something
your
makes you say
ex-boyfriend who
that.
worked for Milo Yiannopoulos and said bye-bye illegals, what do you think that meant? Did you think that was inherently a political statement, or did you think that was just like some shit, you know, whatever, who cares?
Something that I posted to make my ex laugh because that's something that he would say a lot.
Oh,
Also,
interesting.
something that I said when I wasn't
How far would
streaming.
you
I
go
didn't
to make your
have-
ex laugh then? So now it's not actually something that you were socially conditioned.
Would you kill an
It's
illegal
something
immigrant to make your ex?
laugh.
Is that the next question?
What?
Would you ask her if she would kill an illegal immigrant next? Would you skin him alive to make your ex laugh? Where are we going with this line of questions?
No, that's not what my next question was. My question was actually going to be, now you're, again, refusing to take responsibility for the statements and pushing it over to your ex.
It's not a matter of refusing to take
That's
responsibility for.
why I
It's not a
did
matter
it.
of refusing to take. It's not a matter of refusing to take responsibility for the statement. It's a matter of like. So I'm gonna guess that you'd be like, hey, this is probably a shitty thing to say. You probably shouldn't say anymore, right? Yes, but that doesn't seem to be the type of apologies that people push for. It's normally like, hey, you do acknowledge that you fucking hated illegals and you were fucking racist and fucking horrible, and you're gonna apologize for that, right? That's like
Is
the
that
type.
what I said, or did I
Yes,
say
that's the
don't-
subtext of what you.
Is that
Yes,
statement?
that's the subtext of generally what goes along with those types of apologies. I know because I've been on that end a million fucking times, dog. Why do you think I was a fucking libertarian for so fucking long in my life? When people come at me for saying, you know, like the word fag or whatever, you know, people are never saying like, hey, Destiny, you need to chill because like your language can be hurtful, blah 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 blah. No, it's like, Destiny, you're literally fucking homophobic. You literally fucking hate gay people. You literally blah 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 blah. Why don't you ever apologize? Well, fuck, well, I don't fucking hate gay people. I'm not gonna fucking apologize for that. What the fuck do you mean?
Okay, Destiny, again, I understand that you see a lot of yourself in Emma's predicament, and I did too originally. But you did a lot of introspection and recognized that it was hard.
Impression, but I think we'll come around. Everything will be okay.
I don't understand. I think it's funny how DGD will always call out me when I come
Okay,
in chat,
that's not
or I
me,
come in
that's
voice
past
chat and I
me
make things about myself.
doing
But
shit.
fucking Zintani can come in here and be like, me, my friendship's important. Me, she's being immature, and none of you say shit. DGD,
what?
you guys are all hypocritical as fuck.
Wait,
You
but
just
you made
called
this
me
about
out.
you.
No,
When
she's
I came
not
in,
entertaining. What the
What-
fuck?
when I
Shut
came
the
in here,
fuck
you
up.
made a
Act
throw
like
up
any
sound.
woman is entertaining at all. Name one entertaining woman. Go.
You're entertaining.
Shut up,
Yeah.
bitch.
You have
Anyway,
good streams. I
fucking
like that
DGD
stream
is so
where you.
hypocritical.
Wait,
You
wait,
guys
wait,
are so stupid.
Elliot.
Holy shit.
I drew you. I'm a fan.
Cool. Awesome. But
Why are
anyway,
you so mean to your fans?
they're not my fans. They're my enemies.
I drew. Do
Fucking
you want me to draw
ferret
my
LO.
impression? But I think we'll come.
It's a little bit of Emia rage.
Harmful behavior and literally stopped and fought against all of the things that you had said. In this instance, there is still a recognition element that is missing.
Oh,
That
look,
was my
I had
entire point. I wasn't
DGG
saying she's
chat.
gonna fucking skin
It-
people alive.
this was an
I'm just saying
embed.
that
So me coming on your stream and
pushing
talking
the
about
responsibility
me talking
off
about
I guess
Destiny
I wasn't
isn't recognition?
streaming when
Me
I
actually
first started
talking
doing
about it after
this,
these things happened,
so
after
I
ignoring them and, like, moving on
was
with
just
my
sitting there
life and
watching
trying
it
to
and
say
beat by
harmless things.
myself.
Me, like actually talking about them for once in like how many years is not recognition? Or is it not recognition because I didn't apologize yet?
No, it's not recognition because you keep blaming it on other things rather than being like, hey, honestly, if you're gonna blame it on other things, you could literally say, hey, it's memes on the internet and it's really fucked up, and I did not realize that this was racist behavior when I was saying the N-word and all of these other things, and you know, throwing up the OK sign on my Twitter as early as like multiple times, as early as like 2017, and you know, saying
literally-
bye bye illegal as I took a photo of a dude I dated who actually fucking wrote for Milo Yiannopoulos. Like all of these things, you're literally using the just memes defense, but you're not even saying that they're just memes. You're just saying that like you didn't know that they were even memes.
She's not saying she didn't know they were memes. She's saying she didn't know it was a fucking dog whistle for this extremist shit. I mean, like, do you think like somebody like Richard Lewis is legitimately like a white nationalist, or Tim Pool? They're not, but they're useful idiots because that's the entire goal of this type of shit.
White nationalist, but I'm saying that it is rather suspicious that she has hung out with legitimate white nationalists, consistently promoted white nationalist stuff.
Yeah, but we only
saying
dated for
that
2
white
weeks and we
nationalists
never talked
and
about
then turn
politics.
around and not even admit that those are turn around and not have the decency to say, hey, these were fucking terrible things. Now that you've described this to me, and I'm really sorry for it.
What's
Instead of
this
saying like,
about?
oh, I was gonna say sorry to my own, I was gonna say sorry on my own stream, or whatever.
Yeah, because
Later down the line, while
This is
also
a place
completely
apology.
dismissing those statements on your stream.
Like what? What?
Like, you literally did not admit to saying any of those things, and now you guys are trying to all fucking gaslight me by making it seem like you actually did admit to those things. And I'm sorry for not fucking stepping down from this point, but I mean, was
So
I
I'm not allowed to
was I
give a formal
watching this
apology on my
fucking debate
own
or conversation?
accord?
I don't think she's a Nazi, guys. Okay, I don't think Emiya is a Nazi. I don't think she's a crypto fascist. I think she was just like a regular old racist. Okay, and participated in the memes because she thought they were edgy. There are plenty of people who do this. Okay, Destiny was lightly kind of one of those people. Maybe he was unaware, or maybe he was aware. It doesn't matter. Ultimately, he said this is bad and is working against it now. But he said this is bad, and I did these things. I said these things. That is an incredibly important part of this redemption arc. What are we doing now? We're just not. We're gonna let people say like, I never actually said these things, or it was SSRIs. Okay, it's cool when Roseanne Barr said it too.
Do you really think she's comparable to Roseanne Barr?
Do I really think she's comparable to Roseanne Barr? Roseanne Barr used the exact same defense, and we all laughed at it because we thought it was ridiculous.
Okay.
Yes, I do actually think she's comparable to Roseanne Barr. As a matter of fact, I think she said worse things than Roseanne Barr.
Because of the 2 chat logs and Overrussell?
Okay, hold on. I'm sorry. Maybe I have to go back and look. But Roseanne Barr said a lot of like insanely fucking crazy shit, right? Like not like shared a meme, but like was like blatantly. Am I wrong, guys? Wait, what was she under heat for? Can somebody please link me the tweets? Because I might be misremembering this.
She's liking a half black, half Iranian woman, Valerie Jarrett, to Planet of the Apes and the Muslim Brotherhood.
Didn't she say more than that as well? Weren't there other?
Like saying the N-word a bunch of times is probably worse than that. I don't know. Maybe
I
I'm
said
wrong.
it twice from the chat logs that you showed. One was just a fake screenshot. So me saying it twice in a Twitch chat 2 years ago is comparable to someone who's like that, like you're explaining? How?
Sorry, I wasn't.
Oh, hey, didn't see you there. I'm Hassan Piker, and this is Bro Tip. This week's Bro Tip is about bringing out the alpha male in you.
Ow!
A few things to consider when you think about Lady Gaga as a top contender for Babe of the Week should be the fact that she might have a penis. The fact that Lady Gaga might have a small penis does absolutely terrify me. Here's why the 5-second rule works. Because when you start thinking for longer than 5 seconds, you're immediately not
Just a Hassan bonus meme, apparently.
here that we like to call our brains. So once you start thinking with your brain, you're immediately going to psych yourself out. Come back again next week when we discuss the legendary question of all time: old enough to count, old enough to mount? Question mark.
Ow!
I want to say thank you to Miley Cyrus for showing off her camel toe at the VMAs the other night. I always knew Hannah Montana was a little slut. Don't even try to hide it. Look, this is a classic example of what happens when your father doesn't pay attention to you. You turn out to be a slut who's craving for attention, and then I tend to pick you up at a bar late night and bang you out on the first date. User Dubstep Piggy says, just die and stop destroying this channel. Never.
I definitely did grow up fascinated by American culture. I'm a bit of a marabou, like a weed for America.
America deserved 9/11, dude. I'm saying it.
The criticism that was thrown in my face has been consistent throughout my career.
You disgusting, vile piece of garbage.
I'm an idiot, I'm dumb, bimbo. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Like when your mom pays me because I fucking blow her back walls out, dude.
I've got numb for her. It's not. As a matter of fact, I seek it out now because I make content out of it.
I'm gonna die one of these days because my blood pressure fucking spikes.
I think it's funny.
Everything I said about Biden is true, you fucking idiot.
His real name is Hassan Packer.
Hassan Packer is the largest political commentator on the internet. However, his...
Did anyone say anything? I had to walk away to get nicotine gum.
I did. So me saying
Such a good transition.
that word twice is comparable to that woman saying those things. Just 'cause
Roseanne
it's
Barr is
a-
literally using like hashtag Pizzagate and hashtag Pedogate. You really see these two people on the same level?
Okay, we're losing.
Not
We're
the
losing
same
sight
level,
of
you call me
something. The
worse
reason
than
why I
her.
made that comparison is because that was her fucking. That was literally her saying, "Hey, I'm sorry, I was using SSRIs."
Okay.
But I'm worse than her because of what I said compared to what
No,
she
your defense is the same, and it was stupid when she said it, and it was stupid when you said it as well. That's the whole point.
said. It wasn't a defense. It was an explanation. I wasn't using it as an excuse. I was just trying to explain why it's hard for me to remember those things. My point of coming on here and talking about those stuff wasn't to be put on trial and sit here and be forced to apologize about things. It was just to talk to Destiny about what he would do in that situation.
Yeah, I just look. Honestly, I was nicer than Destiny was originally to you.
you
because
weren't. You
I
forced
genuinely
creating
thought that it was. I genuinely thought that like you you felt embarrassed or you felt like all of this
I
shit
am
came up while we were
embarrassed.
having a conversation. So I was willing to give you the benefit of the doubt, but when you went on Destiny stream to not admit that you had said any of those things and to again not take on that responsibility made me feel like you were just running the apology tour, make yourself look like a victim so you can win over at least like 30% of Destiny's audience, have them come and watch your stream. I'm sorry, but that's literally what it looks like.
And this
I
is why
wanted to
I
give you the
didn't
benefit of
want
the doubt. I
to
literally did give you the benefit of the doubt originally, but now it just looks like you're just trying to say like, hey, crypto fascist memes, all these things that I've done in the past, they're all just
You
happy
really think
mistakes or
this-
coincidences. I'm not responsible for it, but I'm also going to get better for it. And now 30% of like the 9,000 people that are watching are going to come into your stream and be like, Emil, you're so fucking right. Here's a tier 3
You really
subscription.
think that that's what's gonna happen from this? Have you not been reading the chat the whole entire time?
Yes,
Why the
I have
fuck would I
been
put
reading
myself in
that.
that
There are
situation
people there are
twice?
people who are defending you.
Oh,
and
a couple people saying, wait, Emmy, you can't do nothing wrong. I never fucking said I never did anything wrong. Never once. Why would I put myself in that situation twice? I already got fucking death threats from your community. People calling me Nazi. People coming in my chat calling me racist. Why
What did
would
I
put myself in
tell
that
my
situation
community
twice?
when you
No,
were
wait,
there
wait,
and also
wait,
after
no.
you were gone?
No,
Not to go so
the
fucking
way
hard
that
on you, right?
No, the
Did I
way
not say
that
that?
you acted.
I literally said, hey, guys, don't go fucking off on her. And by the way, my community, there were people in Destiny's subreddit who were calling me a fucking idiot for not going off on you as hard as I and not going off harder on you. Okay, so don't act like this was me or my community.
I never said, oh my god. I'm saying, why would I put myself in that situation twice? There's nothing profitable from this. I was genuinely asking him questions about how I should, you know,
Muay Thai
how I should think,
again.
or how other people should think, or why do they think the way that they think. For my own growth, not for my face, not for my image. It was for me to understand what I have to do from it and make that decision. I'm not gonna be forced into a decision just because you think I should and be held at your standards.
Oh, yo, what's up, Split Guy?
I'm not trying to hold you to my standards. I'm trying to hold you to
I
the
had
bottom.
a little conversation with Wolfgang a second ago, and we were just talking about how he like didn't like me showing Emia's stuff on stream, and how like, and I told him it's not like I'm holding her accountable to it. I just wanted to like know what was going on and blah blah blah, and we just like, went back and forth on it. Obviously, I'm rewatching it, which is again doing the thing that he didn't like me doing. But I don't know. I need to rewatch this to like see if she am I mistaken that she did actually show remorse and regret for the things that she did, or she just didn't like being caught about it, and which is what I think happened, and that she lied the whole way through, and then when I interacted with her, she just like pulled slightly into a little bit of character growth, where instead of lying, she just asked other people to forget about it. Which, from my point of view, we should remember this was 4 years ago. She's still like generally well liked by the community, but if she wants to like be even more well liked, despite her past, she should either do something about it by like directly dealing with it in a good way, or do other things which let people know that she actually does like good actions, rather than like relying on everyone else to like deduce whether she's a good person or not. She should just be a good person.
With the barrel, lowest standards.
Whereas Wolfgang was like, no, we don't know if she's a good person or not, so we should just like assume that she might be and let things go with the past. And I'm like, well, she wants things of the past to be like let go of. She should probably like create a pipeline for us to let go of it, as opposed to just like, you know, manipulating our emotions.
Possible, which is
Not really, because
which
you just-
gives you an out to literally say, hey, I'm sorry, and now you're gonna make it seem like you already said you're sorry after
No,
we
I
had
didn't.
this
I told you that I
conversation.
would. Oh my god, I told you that I'm not gonna sit here and apologize just because I feel like I'm being forced to apologize in front of people. I said that I would.
It just seems
if
really
as it
fake,
is-
Emil. I'm sorry. I want to believe you. Obviously, I don't give a shit about
If
like
I were to
another
say I'm
person
sorry
being.
right now, you would just say it's fake. I don't believe you, Emia. You're just doing.
No,
it
I
because
wish
we're
you
pressing
did it in the moment, though. I wish. Then I would have 1000%. You can go back and look at the fucking logs. I would have been like, guys, if she literally said, these are the things I said, and I'm sorry. If you look back at the logs from like 2 hours ago, you'll see like if she literally was like, hey, I said these things. I'm fucking sorry about them. I'm trying to get better. Can we please move on? That would have been 1000% preferable to what you did.
No, I think it's better for me and the people who actually support me if I
Are
apologize.
there
to
even
them
people here
directly
watching
first,
with me? I
and
don't
not
know.
just the people who already think poorly of me. To me going on my
So
social media,
apologizing to them is a beautiful thing, and I'm glad that you're thinking and considering your community and wanting to apologize to them. But that doesn't
not
change the fact
really.
that you
Apparently
literally
this is
denied
content.
responsibility moments prior to that. Even if you went on your stream and maybe got like a host from Destiny, a little bit of boost from Destiny after that to apologize to your community, you still denied the responsibility earlier on. So I mean, why are we
It is
going
pretty
back to the
boring.
same
We
exact
can
argument?
probably skip over actually a lot of this video. Maybe we
Alright.
should just skip to the part where Emiya came on my stream, because that's gonna like not do the same egregious thing of showing all of her fucked up past. And and then we can see the or the conversation that I had with her. I think is probably the best way to go, because it's always nice to see how I actually interact with people.
What is wrong?
What
with
is your
you for asking
threshold
that
for
question?
classing someone as a human? Yeah, you said you wanted to get in here to convince me to turn the stream off.
Yes, I would love that.
I think I was already banned by this point for interacting with chat. Because chat was spamming like, Chris, pull Emmy around.
How do I get that to happen? What do I need to say for it to stop? Did I have to say, please, please,
You know.
please, don't
You-
watch
you-
videos
you
from
know.
Becca, please? Like, what do you need? What do you
Right, so
want?
what's she saying there? Like, please just don't play them? Or like, please accept that I'm apologizing? I don't know. Or that
How
I
do
have
get that
apologized
happen?
to those
What do I
people?
need to say for it to stop? Did I have to say, please, please,
You know.
please, don't
You-
watch
you-
videos
you
from
know.
Becca, please? Like, what do you need? What do you want me to do?
You know what
Don't
I
make
want
it
you to
weird.
do.
Don't be
You
weird,
know.
Chris.
You
No, that's
know.
extortion. I don't like that. Don't be weird.
Alright. Well, DGG, get your questions in. If you think this is retarded, this is your chance to ask what you want to ask, and you may get to the point. Emia, have you learned much about dog whistling?
Oh,
And
yeah,
how could
I
we
didn't
flatten
really-
that learning curve for you? Maybe.
I didn't know anything until that one stream with Hassan. And then everyone came in my chat and they were like, oh my god, I'm gagging because I just took a hit. Sorry. You wouldn't understand.
Alright,
And
chat's
this
in
was
here
some, like,
saying that
corny
I don't
side
like you,
possibly.
and that I'm just tucking out by
What?
like
I
being
don't
nice to
get
you.
that vibe at all.
Yeah, I don't know who you are at all, so I just started looking up logs. In fact, I even had a disclaimer on the screen the whole time saying we probably shouldn't hold people accountable for stuff they did years ago.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, well, I wasn't doing it just to be nice. I just feel like chat is fucking retarded, like most of the time,
I
and
mean,
they
no,
often
you
think that
definitely
people
put
take
that
things
on
like
the
really
screen 'cause
serious.
You care, and that's you being nice.
Fuck. Oh, God. Oh, you're giving me cancer. Jesus Christ.
Well, unless you're lying.
Would you be comfortable talking to someone who does hate you?
Why? No, I wanted to
no,
talk to you.
that was a
and ask
question.
you, what is your fascination, and how do I get it to stop?
Right. I don't know if there is any way to really stop DGG. They're just
What if I say-
everywhere all
what
at
if I
once
say
all the
this?
time.
What if I say it's not nice?
I would start
you
thinking
agree?
that you probably have the IQ of a fucking 8-year-old
Yeah,
and
but don't you agree though?
have a perfectly spherical head.
At some point, you have to look and say like, okay, wait, okay, it isn't nice.
Yeah, I mean, it's not great. I don't think it's like really meant to be nice though. We're all just like
Oh,
peeking
wait,
in
so
to
you're
like see
being
what's going on.
nice on purpose. Ah, damn it.
Should we do a straw poll
Okay.
to see if we should pull Xena in? Because you're both really hot, and I'm sure DGG would love it.
What?
Sorry, I made that weird. My bad. So what's another good question? Do you want to like defend yourself about the dog?
Oh, he's
Was
fine.
was the boyfriend
I
really
think
just full
a
of
lot of
shit? Why was the
people-
dog pissing everywhere?
Well, because it was the morning and it was like time to take him outside to go potty in the morning, right? Like you wake up and you have to go take the dog downstairs because you live in an apartment, right? But he had just taken him outside the night before and I didn't know where his leash was. It's a long story. But a lot of people take him peeing on the floor, which is so true. He did do that. And I'm so sorry that happened. I cleaned it and he hasn't done that since. He's a good boy and he smells great.
Right, so he wasn't. He does have a
but
great
they
coat, so he didn't
sees-
have
they-
a bunch of
they
things about
see-
you. Sorry, go on,
You're
Queen.
fine, Chris Lettuce, you're fine. But they see him peeing and they say, okay, she abused her dog. Or maybe they like, don't watch the video. Or maybe they do think like letting your dog like pee on the floor is abusing him. I would never hurt my dog. I love my dog.
Right,
He's a good
and
dog.
how long were you dating that guy for?
Oh, I don't remember. That guy sucked. Maybe like 7 months. Maybe it was a while ago.
Okay, so it does make a bit of sense that you had already moved in with him. It's not
Okay,
like,
yeah, but who are you to judge? Because like, what if I like really felt it?
yeah, who do you think you are, Chat? Being so
Oh,
judgmental.
have you lived with a lady that you really like?
Yeah, she threw boiling water at me and kept putting drugs in my
Okay, well-
food. And
okay,
she used to
well,
throw
then
plates at the back of my head.
understood
It was pretty,
Okay.
it was mint. But yeah, that's what,
Okay.
that experience is what makes it so relatable that like, that was like half my problem, right?
Was
For
she
like
hit with
even
the
being
boiling
there.
water?
Huh? Yeah,
Are,
it burnt.
are you okay?
But not really. I was
What did she
covered
wash
in
you
scalding
with?
hot water. What kind of questions? What's that?
Did you press charges?
I can't get into it. Obviously, I can't
Did you
really
break
like.
up with her?
I can't dox my shit.
Wait, are you still dating her?
Yeah,
I
this
did
was
press
in
charges against that girl,
2014.
by the way, but
Oh,
the
that's a while
police
ago.
just sided
That
with
was
her
almost
instead of
10
me.
years ago.
Yeah,
That's
it
still-
was. Sorry, was that a question? I didn't hear that.
Which was super
was
weird.
just
Like,
a-
I didn't
Okay.
get to press charges.
Yeah. So your thing with that guy was like pretty cringe, and
They just
we
didn't
haven't
accept
really
me
finished
pressing
covering all your
charges.
law yet.
And
how
then
do
she
things
just
end up
counter
with
pressed
you recently?
charges.
And
And it was
everyone
like-
wants to know:
chill.
did you fuck?
No, never. I didn't fuck anyone from the DGG stuff days. I mean, I could have with Melina. It was really close.
Yeah, that was the
a
next
lot of
question.
times. And it's still like a thing. It could happen. You never know, but probably not. Because my heart has to be into it, you know?
Okay. When I talk to you about like girls throwing boiling water at me, do you think they should be held
Yeah.
accountable, or does it sound like I deserved it? Probably because I'm a
I don't
6'3"
think
Giga Chad.
there's boiling water thrown on them. That sucked.
Yeah.
Are you okay? Do you want to
I'm good. I mean,
Is there like unhealed stuff that
I've
you use?
no, I've processed it.
validation?
It's fine.
I'm here for you, man. I'm sorry that happened to you.
I mean, I'm not gonna say I don't love to be validated, but yeah.
Oh.
Who doesn't, right? Shadows in here pretending like they're superhuman. It's kind of cringe.
Well, that's just a thing that people do when they're not like a streamer or like someone to be like talked about.
Yeah, sure. You do get the occasional person who comes in and sorry, I'm just laughing at some specific retard in chat. All right. People really want to know about that Israel-Palestine thing now that you've had a little bit of time to think about it. And not even to do with the current conflict. I mean, this is a question that's been asked for years now. So, Israel or Palestine?
I think that Palestine should be free. And that is really, really based.
Why? Why should Palestine be free? What have they done to deserve it? And what is your threshold for classing someone as a human? Do you think that everyone is inherently human, or do they have to earn that right?
I don't believe that everyone is equal. I think that if we all reach for the stars, then there will be no one back here down on Earth.
Right. How do you feel about gay space communism?
Gay space communism?
Yeah, it sounds like you'd be pretty into it. We leave all the women behind on Earth. All the men go to space. We'd be rid of capitalism and competition and money. We wouldn't have to compete over the women. All the men could just like give each other blowjobs.
Okay.
Yeah.
How many more questions do I have to answer for you to stop watching videos of me having a mental breakdown a couple years ago? Because it makes me feel, how do I say this? I don't know, sad. I need to move on.
She's sad.
I can't.
Nah, sorry.
Because I'm sad.
Alright. How are you just sad? Sorry, I'm asking this because it impacts like what I might do or might not do. But like, are you generally pretty sad, or is it just a slight moment that's making you sad?
I think I've always been sad. I'm sad. I mean, that stuff obviously makes me sad, but like, I've kind of like blocked out of my memory a while. For like, I don't really try to think about it. So then when people bring it up, it's just like, like kind of, you know.
Right.
It's fine, and I get it. It's all public, and you do what you want. But that's why I asked. Like, is there any way I can get this guy to call and look at him, monitor, and say, "Yo, this makes me sad."
The camera's off, turned off. But I don't know. I don't really have much going on, and I'm not really feeling like emotionally moved by that. I don't know if it's my own anhedonia kicking in or something.
I wasn't gonna like win you over or anything. I was asking you what I need to do.
But
like, as a
one thing I
transactionary
am pretty sure of is that if we drag Xena in, I'm probably going to be a lot more likely to be convinced. So would you like to try that one out?
I don't care. I think she's very good looking.
Yeah, Xena is fucking mint. Shadows can cope. But they're all going to be fuming when Kane finally
Do you
bangs
know
her.
about like when it's Halloween and they take the Pepe Laugh emote and they make it into a bee?
Nah, I don't know that meme.
Oh. Okay.
Oh, I might have seen it recently, actually. Like, I love Israel Gun, but it's like a bee. Yeah.
Oh, okay, well, it's a bee and it's Pepe laughing and it's like saying bzz.
Okay. You know the picture you saw of Xena earlier? Maybe we'll pull it up on stream so everyone else can see.
Oh, she's in the...
Oh yeah, I'll drag her in right after you answer this. But like, if you divide that picture into thirds, and then you have to rate each third out of 10. So shoulders up, out of 10. Shoulders to hips, out of 10. And then hips down, out of 10.
This makes me really uncomfortable.
Yeah, no, don't answer that. We actually have a policy of not talking about the way people look in TGG.
Okay.
So, just trolling.
Alright.
Alright, here comes Xena. Xena, you are live. You need to unmute your microphone.
I'm trying to...
Xena. There we go.
Hi.
Hey. Give me a say hi.
Okay. Hey, I'm turning on my shit real quick. Yeah, DDG chat was telling me to get in, so, and then I wanted to after I was hearing what was going on.
Alright, if you came up, I'll put you on stream if you want.
Our camera's not on.
Yeah, Emil, you should really turn your camera on. If you guys want me to turn mine on to make you more comfortable, I will, but it probably won't help.
No.
Yeah.
Do you think, this is actually a really good question, do you think 22 Jump Street is an old movie?
I thought that was a
22
guy.
What, Jump Street?
22
The
Jump
movie?
Street. Is that a really old movie?
I mean, it's not really old, but isn't it about 20-some years old?
It came out in 2016 or 2013.
Oh shit, I'm retarded then. So it's over 10 years.
This is
About
really a
10
question for Emil though.
Well, I had a
I
question
thought that
for
was
you.
a guy. I thought that was the guy that dates the girl that he lets everybody fuck his wife.
That's
Adam
Adam 22.
Oh.
Yeah, he is a disgusting whore of a man.
He let one guy, well, that's my friend, but he let one guy mess with his wife, and it was a mutual agreement. And I think if that's what people agree to in a relationship, we shouldn't judge what they got going on, because like, doesn't Destiny and Mel kind of have their own dynamic?
Yeah, sure, but we should probably judge Adam. He's a massive whore. So,
I mean,
I mean,
I don't know, they've only been kind to me, so I'm not gonna talk shit about
wouldn't you
him,
agree
but-
that he has such like an intense level of self-interest that it's probably means he finds all of his relationships fairly shallow,
Wait, are
and
we
then the
still
fact that he
talking
pumps
about
his wife
Adam
out to make porn and money is probably a very clear reflection of that.
I'm probably the worst person to ask that, because, you know, I kind of ignore people that are like that. Like, I ignore those signs.
I could have sworn there was
Well,
a bit of controversy around him, and perhaps maybe the R word.
Talks about an hour.
The R word?
Oh,
What?
yeah.
You can say retard if you want.
No,
No,
not
she was
that one.
talking about rape. There was like these papers that negotiating with somebody who did something.
Good one. Make another P joke.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck
Sorry,
up.
I didn't mean to do that. Sorry.
Alright. I'm sorry too.
Okay, move on.
So,
Well,
what was
question for
what was
you,
meant to
like-
happen with you two?
I kind of had a question why you basically were streaming what you were just streaming.
Who's asking me this right now?
Xena.
Xena, that's what I thought.
Xener.
Xener. Why?
Xena.
Emmy was in chat, and I did not know who she was. So,
Well, neither do I, and it's like kind of fucked up because like we were hitting it off real well in chat. She was at me, I was at her back. There was some flirtations, and I come back to DDD chat, and people are talking about abusing animals and things like that, and it's like, come on, like, hasn't it been some time? Like, can't we just ease into those things, you know?
Well,
yeah, it did feel kind of weird.
That people can,
Because it's like
they can
I
stream
feel like
what they want. It's okay. I mean, like it's not okay, but like like legally speaking and like morally speaking, people can do what they want. I mean, he's not like doing anything bad. But the problem is, it's just like a really, it's just a personal thing. Like you either care about the way it affects me or you don't, and that's like not. It's just like your choice. And like if he wants to make that choice to do something that hurts me, like that is his choice, right? So that was why I was like, okay, well, what if I reach out, you know? Because, like, if you look at it from, like, not a personal point of view, it's just like, okay, I get it, right? Like, oh my god, there's this person, and they acted really crazy on the internet, and now we can all watch it and laugh together. But, like, what if that person was actually, like, still talking, and, like, what if I cared about what they thought or what they felt, right? So it's just all about feelings, really.
right, would it feel worse if we demanded you to make an apology, like Hassan was doing, or?
I mean, like, there's been so many at this point, it really doesn't really matter. Because in a couple more years, there'll be Chris Bloodis 2.0, and then he'll want an apology too, you know?
Okay, that's pretty base. Hassan doesn't really matter. But the real question was like, would it make you feel worse? And I guess you think it won't. Sorry, I wasn't listening.
Yeah, well, would you rather have a Kai Cenat son or a Hassan brother?
Definitely a Kai Cenat son. Yeah. I mean, I guess I could beat Hassan up because he would be like my family member, so that would be cool.
But okay, so Chris, because I know you have a warm heart for me, right? Would you then, I mean, you know, I've obviously had my mental breakdowns too. That's why I'm like relating, right? I guess we all have. So I've had my mental breakdowns. I've done some things, right? Would you be sitting there piling it on and making a whole stream about it to like make me cry and feel bad?
Wow.
I don't understand the question. Sorry.
Holy shit.
Let me clean my camera off so you can see the tears. Hold on.
Wait. Holy shit. Whoa.
Move that
Make
shit.
a stream. Similar to what you're doing right now to her while she's asking you to please not do it, right? Like she just came back. Where's her warm welcoming, you know? It's her warm welcoming, right?
Well, if I have to like go ahead and defend myself, I'm just googling her name. You know, this is just the reputation she built around herself.
What I'm saying is, like, if she came on here, right, and she asked you to stop, right, you were more adamant about not stopping.
Well,
and I'm just saying, like, would you have done the same? Like, would I have received the same treatment from you, or would you have like had more empathy or sympathy? So I've obviously, I didn't research her.
come on, guys, let's all do like a drug
But I've
together,
probably
and then
done
we
worse.
forget about the past, and then we all just chill.
That does sound great. But yeah, I don't know, Xena. We show all your stuff, and you still carry around like the same persona you've always had. You don't really need to apologize for anything. We all know that you're like pretty fucking unhinged, and you own up to it like consistently, right? Even with your podcast or interview with Erudite recently, you were like, yeah, a lot of this is a character, but then Erudite was like, well, how much is it really a character, and how much is it actually you? And you were like, okay, well, it's actually all real, but I just keep the probably what you meant was like the more wholesome side of your personality off of stream, so that we get this fucked up like persona.
Which she
And it's
understood.
hilarious.
Being wholesome gets me fucked over in the end. So like, no.
It's the same with
typically
Kylie Jane,
take on
right?
the role of being a crazy psycho bitch because with that you don't necessarily have to deal with the issues. So it's like, you know.
Okay.
I think the WoW meta is like really boring, and it sucks because I don't know who the fuck I'm supposed to sit here and watch. I don't want to watch World of Warcraft anymore.
Yeah, I don't really know how to respond to that.
I just like, don't care who dies in World of Warcraft anymore. It just has no effect on me.
Okay.
Well, I feel like if someone's trying to positive change, then maybe, yeah, sometimes always having to bring up that stuff is probably annoying.
Wait, so Chris Bloodis, you're from DGG, yeah?
For me?
No, Chris Bloodis.
Yeah,
Wait, so you made your streaming career around
kind of.
being a DGG viewer and reviewing DGG drama?
Yeah, I came into DGG like 2 years ago after hanging out in Stardust community for like a year, and and I used to hang out with Jade as a boss as well. And I don't know, I'd already been streaming, and just like no one would ever come in. I'd just like sit there and play Tarkov for like thousands of hours. But fucking yeah. Are you still thick in the paint with Hassan?
Yeah.
Yeah. What about with
You know
Nutella?
What? What'd you say?
Nothing. Don't even worry. I'm just reading out some questions from chat.
You're not friends with Hassan, are you?
No.
Okay.
Oh, what do you think about Hassan?
Hassan is a really mean guy, and that's all I have to say.
Yeah, nice. How did you end up hearing about Destiny then? And like, why did you want to hang out with him? Did you just like watch a video and be like, this guy's fucking best? I'd love to be in a polycule with him, and then get in there.
I like his wife.
Nice, good take.
It's pretty cool.
How did you feel about his nigging? When he nigged you, were you pretty into that?
What does that mean?
Nigging? It's just when he abuses you a little bit, but in like a way that you love.
What?
It's like what you did to your dog, but you enjoy it, where you neglect it, or say mean things to it. Sorry, that was probably a bad hypothetical.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie. You're starting to piss me off.
Sorry, that was kind of...
And you better watch your back. or else-
Don't worry, the more we talk, probably the less you end up enjoying me,
And then
or
that'll be
liking me.
last you'll hear from me.
Sorry, maybe we should move on. What happened with you and Grow Score? I've been seeing
Oh, that
occasional
guy,
memes and...
he showed up at this party one time and like greeted Jenna and I at the door and like picked me up and like slowly like set me down and like put his face in my boobs. And so I unfriended him on everything and he was really fucking weird. And then I said that same exact thing on DGG and everyone called me a liar and said I just said it for attention and then no one cared about it. And then he started getting canceled for being weird.
What
and
was
for
the thing
bullshit.
that he said?
Huh?
What was... You said that you said that thing on Twitter? What was the thing?
That story?
Oh, you said the story about him...
Yeah.
If I get this right,
Yeah.
he put your
Yeah.
face in his boobs.
Yeah.
Right,
What?
right.
No, he
No,
put
other way
this in
around,
her
weirdo.
boobs.
Hey, you better start listening or else I'm gonna get serious. I think you're doing
Okay, buddy.
She's becoming a dommy mommy.
So, yeah, I don't know. I haven't heard that much about Grow Score either. Destiny was saying that one time he was hanging out with him in the back of a car and Grow Score was just like routinely going through his entire Discord friends list trying to rizz up women. So,
Cool.
yeah, that's the kind of guy he is.
Average
care.
DDGer.
Yeah. Yeah, Xeno, I saw some logs between you and Kane. What's the deal with that?
I just beef with Kane because he talks too much shit, and I feel like he talks the most shit about my ex, and it just triggers me. So of course, like it's like if I'm gonna talk shit every now and then, that's one thing. But when I see somebody else doing it, it just triggers me. Like I have like blood with him. Like I just want to punch him in his fucking.
Okay, I don't mean to
Yeah,
like...
well,
Sucks at like every fucking video game he plays. There's no way he talks shit to me.
Oh,
He
is he?
does, and then he'll DM me. No, he got banned. He begged my mods to unban him out my Kick chat and out my Discord because he came in there talking shit about Darius. And then I was like, I just didn't pay attention. I said, mods, do what you gotta do. And they banned him. And then like a few days later, he just begged to come back in. And like now we just beef about it. Like, and I just go in at him, and all he has is shitty things to say about this man. And it's like, you know how it is. So like now I just have somebody to punch on in the chat.
I was more referring to the dick pic that he sent you, but
I did not
maybe-
see any dick pic. I
Oh.
never clicked it. I don't look at that. Like I
she's lying, shit.
don't know. No, bro, disgusting. I saw the Twitter picture.
It
and I
wasn't
was like,
disgusting.
because they told me some shit about he hooked up with a certain someone, and I was laughing because I thought they were trolling me. And apparently it's real, and I'm just like, oh Jesus. So I made some jokes in DDG about it. And
Was
then,
it
you know how-
circumcised? Was it like a witch's finger? Just like, come here, little one. Fucking coming out.
What?
That's some good shit.
I didn't see his penis. I
You
didn't
made
see
me
his
laugh.
penis.
You made me
You know,
laugh.
I don't know. I used to hate circumcised penises until recently.
Should I leave?
Yeah, are you gonna stop playing her video?
I won't.
Well, I think we've seen all of it. Yeah, I think we saw everything.
Are you satisfied now, Emiya?
No, I'm gonna need like a written contract from you that says you're not gonna talk about me anymore. On your streams.
I don't get it. I don't understand the
So
ways that this
go
would be
sign
like,
something.
you know,
I thought of
sign something that
more
would somehow be
funny.
beneficial to me
Wait,
to like shut the fuck
I
up.
might
thought
get
of
it signed
something
to
more
someone
funny.
else.
I literally thought of something more funny. Emiya, would you want to talk to somebody else and like have a little bit of fun?
Nope.
Are you sure?
It's a great idea, yeah. You could do... So DGG chat
Sure.
doesn't even like me. They're all in there spamming that I'm just a creep right now, which is kind of hurtful.
They're just
But
spamming chat,
it is
like,
what it is.
stuff. Do it.
But if you go ahead and make like way better content, they'll definitely abandon my stream and come watch you.
Bro, like they'll literally tell him never to bully you again if you like talk to this one person. I swear to God, I know DDG.
Yeah, go ahead. Make some great content. Pull them away from my stream. Fuck me, right? Sincerely.
Okay.
Can I help you out with that, Xena? Or because obviously I'm not here. Like, it was
I'm gonna-
I did a good idea. Yeah, I don't really care about like promoting my.
You already know.
Okay, well, I'm actually trying to do that right now, just Xena. Especially when you were talking about having tears running down your face, I thought that would be hilarious. Suddenly pull that shit up.
I'm gonna leave though. Yeah, I'm gonna leave though, but I sent you the username for you to do it.
Yeah, I know. I don't know why, but Darius has run away like a
I'm not-
coward. I've been trying to pull Darius in the whole time.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna leave. Yeah, he's gonna try to wizard up, so that's what I'm saying. I'm gonna leave.
Unfortunately,
Yeah.
if Darius joins the call, I will leave the call. That is just something that happens to me. I can't control that. That just automatically happens. It's like a thing with my Discord.
Oh yeah, just a Discord bug. Like when Darius enters the room, your shit just
Okay,
disconnects.
but you literally said, for example, if for them to stop attacking you, right? If you did this for not even 5 minutes, you wouldn't even do it for 5 minutes. Just sit there. You don't even have to reply.
And just listen to Darius try to white too.
Okay, well,
God, what a fucking loser. I honestly
no,
look down on
never-
you so much for
look,
caring
no,
about him at all,
literally-
Xena. You have like a
like, wait,
despicable
yeah,
taste
like,
in men.
wait, I do? Okay, first
Yeah.
of all, Chris Flooded. Okay, first of all, I was about to help you out. Don't do that.
So I'm gonna leave. Thank you guys so much for the talk. Thank you for talking to me and hearing me out. Yeah, sorry that I went crazy. And,
Alright. Sorry you're having a hard time.
He's chill now. He doesn't pee on the floor. He's a huge backyard. That guy sucks. We're not dating anymore. Everything's chill. And
Alright.
thanks so much for the time.
Oh, are you going to be on Kick or Keep later? Or do you want to like promote yourself?
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. I thought maybe it'd be funny.
Alright, do you have socials that you want to drop before you leave?
Well, if there's more people like you, I don't think I'll ever go on Keep or Kick because you made me sad.
Oh man, I'm sorry that you're sad. Yeah, just make sure you look after yourself and
Just go on Kick or Keep. Everybody's gonna be on there. I'll be on there next week. Apparently,
everyone's better than
might-
me as well, Nina. If that makes you feel better, I'm trash, right?
Why didn't no one tell me that my FX was on?
Huh? I can't hear any effects.
Okay, never mind.
You seem fine.
All right. Well,
I guess that's why we didn't tell you.
okay.
But yeah, I'm trash,
Well, yeah,
so
I
don't even worry
added
about it.
first
No one's as
because
bad as I am.
I was asked first twice. I don't add him before because like I wanted to do it first since I was asked
See
first.
ya. Thank you guys. It was good talking to you.
All right, good luck.
Good luck with your stream, career. I hope you get
Well,
lots
no.
of-
I'm saying I was gonna tell her to wait. I just wanted my turn first since I was asked first.
If you want to say anything, we can make sure it gets to her.
Hmm?
If you
Yeah, it
want
all
to like,
seems
say
to be
anything,
the same
you
way I
can,
remember
make
it.
sure it gets to her.
No, I mean I can just message her or whatever. It's fine.
You don't sound very hungover today after your big night last night. You doing alright?
Well, I wouldn't have been hungover as it wasn't alcohol.
Yeah, you probably got a pretty good alcohol tolerance as well. By the way, I've seen you swigging on that bourbon. I've been there as well.
I mean,
so-
yeah, I drank the whole bottle a couple of times or whatever, but I mean, I drank on that bottle a couple of times.
Okay,
but, like-
okay.
Yeah, and then that's
Um,
pretty much it.
Alright,
Somebody
when-
just DM me and said, "Oh, he's mad. Chris Bledis showed your DMs and you told him not to add Darius." Yeah, and I did.
Oh yeah, I was scrolling through my Discord. I probably leaked the DM. Why would Darius even give a fuck? What an absolute drama queen! Like,
I guess because I told you,
Cena
don't add-
doesn't want to talk to me
Wait,
in
then-
Discord, mate. This woman literally is like your worst
I
nightmare.
literally just said you could add him next. I just like they
Yeah.
tagged me first to join because I was talking to her in DGG chat. So of course I wanted to go up on there first. Like the fuck, didn't he say he was gonna avoid rizzing DGG girls anyway? Doesn't he have Tinder? The fuck. Like I just blocked this word. Like they always send me stupid shit too. But no, yeah, okay, and I did say that I wanted to get joined first, and then I literally, because I was getting off, tried to convince otherwise. Like what the fuck is the issue?
So are you stalking Darius?
What happened?
Are you stalking Darius? Do you want to like clear the air about that?
No, but do I watch the streams? Yes. Did he admit to watching some of mine? Yes, and it's public, and I'm gonna watch it. I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah, I mean that seems fair.
Yeah, like I don't issue with that at all, especially given what I was put through. So.
Yeah, he definitely abused you. Do you think you've abused him as well?
I abused.
Yeah.
I think
As far as the
both of
whole
us did
Emia
some
thing
type of
went,
unintentional abuse, like mentally and
I
shit
think
from
I actually
trauma,
did give
I
her
wouldn't
like
say
my
Sorry,
honest
I don't
advice.
know.
I was
What
like,
was
what was like the worst part of it all? Really, if you
You-
could have like that relationship back again, but you had to be like, we're never going to do this to each other again. How would you fix it? You know?
What?
Yeah, I gave her an opportunity to like actually apologize for, or to like make clear that she regretted the things she had done, but she didn't. She just was like, "No, I'm sad that people know about what I've done." I asked her for like more video footage of like things that she could have played. She didn't have any. She did say that she had like done an apology stream with Hassan, and I probably should have honed in on that and been like, okay, link me that. We can watch like the comeback for you would be the next thing to watch. But I've never seen a comeback. I don't know if a comeback exists. All that kind of stuff. How would you fix your relationship with Darius? Like, what would be
I guess
the
the
biggest
way to do
abusive
it would
thing that would be
therapy,
best to
that's
avoid?
Not on the table. That's just not on the table. I'm the only one that was ever actually willing to fix anything or work on anything. It's just no. He's more focused on what is content, and then obviously like this other shit. Like he's not the type to try to actually fix a problem. So it just wouldn't
True.
work ever.
She probably shouldn't. Yeah, true.
'Cause I actually am going to therapy. I'm actually in therapy. So, yeah.
What's your therapist like? Is it hopefully she holds on to that idea? Is it like
She's cool. It's actually kind of 3, sometimes 2, but like because there's like there's a student that's learning as well, and there's like the MD, I think it's called or whatever, and then one that sits in. So it's pretty interesting sometimes. But I mean, it's cool. But
Yeah, that sounds pretty good. My sister like goes to this therapist, and it really sounds like from all the stories that the level of like professionalism between them has like completely evaporated. Because my sister's like, oh, I was on like ecstasy and went to see my therapist, and she just thought that was like really cool because she never got to do that before. And I was like, what? Like, you're not taking like a medicinal dose of drugs. You are binging drugs in unhealthy amounts. So good to hear that you've got more than one therapist who works with you. Probably keeps that shit real professional. Yeah. Did you know?
I mean,
like,
I took the steps necessary to like at least try to get help.
All right, what happens next? Say it like that.
So who do you have problems with in DGG? I know you've got beef with somebody because it's just impossible not to have beef with someone in the chat.
Yeah, I don't know. Calcifer and Kane and heaps of chatters hate me, but they are just literally internet strangers. Like, I'll never take advice from them. I'll never fucking care what they say.
Get them in here.
No. And I'm gonna play some Chatters boss for us. Hopefully you stick around till the end because I do enjoy hanging out with you.
All right, I'll watch some.
Yeah.
All right, let me watch. And the spiral that causes issues versus like talking to somebody who's not going to be emotionally invested or personally invested, and they can help you like assess your feelings better. I think it does help me. I don't know. Originally, I didn't like it, and it got me.
Remember to hit that like and subscribe, and don't forget the notification.
Alright, and then we just watched Chatters bosses for a while. Okay, yeah. I don't know. I don't have too much to say. I guess I wish I didn't like meme so hard. I didn't realize people were like watching my stream, so I just did some creepy shit to Emir, which wasn't even funny when I look back on it. I don't know, what do you chatters think? Jokes are banned. Oh, you guys have been chatting a little bit and I haven't been reading it. What did you get banned for? Banned for streaming and engaging with DGH chat. I don't know what's going on, but hello. Gonna stream any movies later. Yeah, maybe we should stream a movie right now. I'm gonna restart my stream so that I don't have to delete this VOD for playing movies, but I'll be back in like 1 minute. Okay. Yeah, I think 2 or 3 times I was like, sorry, that was weird, and I don't mean to make it weird. I'm just like playing up a persona. Like when she first came in and she's like, what can I do to make it, what can I do to make it stop? And I'm like, you know. The implication there is that I want her to do sexual favors to make it stop, right? Which is fucking weird. But then on the same note, I don't think many people picked up on that. There's other weird things. It's even weirder because like after that point I now know what Emir looks like, and I don't like it that like she probably gets thousands of dudes saying that kind of shit to her, you know, which is fucked. And she does seem to sort of be in shambles, so it's rough that she's like an easy target, which all of that I was processing at the time. Alright, I'll be right back.